Mammy Netty,
O mammy,
by
what fun so mammy. Na insione by William, Ukas Obeco Antinental, or Yadan Continental.
Me to me, insuring to me coming. Jumana, I may answer me the console, and soon abandoning, yes, can cobio.
Na Cecilia, a cow bear Busumi say and son. Wow,
I can't 2 months.
Na 2 months no award ye yin say ni awo bi ani mu nsem say bia anadwo say nsuo we beto aso say na anadwo awo ebe kan wa wo be dey twa say nsuo we na wakọ say wo hospital
Mpa cho me ntumi hu na ye adwendwe a medwen say menim da tamini so a menim ba bia mafa because nsuo no so misuro menim nsuo hu adwuma
na sis enti oni ukunu ene kwala say na wo maye say
we kan ha 4 ina wa na ehye ye no 3 ko school
enti 5 nyina said ye share funu mo kan wa na che say o maye 5 said ya nsuo na bubu odan no ehemfa na oda
mako mami bi eti down hanumo eno so nsuo ni ba no ho ba eno so se mi metina na nchenti ni ncha meti
eno ma 4 no
pacho eno
ukunu nyina
pacho ai
se eba ni se obia nso so enifie na ohia bibi a obeto anase aduane a obedi ni de keka ho a won nso so nko a opemfo de ontumi mpiapia saa kenu we nti wo ye de
na me twenso na yi nso say me name no.
So apparently she started getting foot rot because she is unable to paddle the canoe herself, and every time she tries to cross the water, I mean she would have to walk barefooted, and that is how she's beginning to get foot rot. And another thing we must take note is this water is no longer fresh. It is gradually getting stagnant because it filled a lot of public toilets, it filled dump sites, it filled cemeteries and other unpleasant places. So now all these remnants of all these places are in the water. The water has soaked all these things. So from part of dead bodies to dump sites to public toilets. So we might be also looking at not just an emergency of flooding, but another emergency that has to do with public health. Intino, say ebani so say was say unya edrobi nomni ade asese na mu unya adwuma ene antinental no na chese onum bi kra
ba cho mi call we hanum kra yesi mi nko keta minis kenti mi nya adwuma bi ntimi anko.
Faustina is just 32 years and she's a mother of 4. She's carrying her 5th pregnancy or her 5th child. So, and she's just about 7 months old. She has barely 2 months to reach 9 months and then possibly give birth. But she has to succumb to this because she has nowhere going. And if not for the benevolence of this woman paddling us, she wouldn't have even gotten a place to call home or a place to lay her head. And she's not the only one facing this. Herself and other people are all in this same plight. So they are calling on people, benevolent people, to help them, whether toiletries, beddings, at least, and food, so that they can keep fit and then stay strong until this water recedes. My name is Shadrach Odame Ejare from Galusota in the Volta region for Metro News.
I want to use this medium to call on them to do what is required and ensure that these 11 communities are catered for immediately. The situation we are seeing here, I'm sad that the government is downplaying it. It is a major man-made disaster, first of its kind in the history of this republic. We urge them that as soon as possible they should declare a state of emergency in these affected areas and ensure that action is taken to reduce the suffering of the masses. And finally, I'm worried that some of our colleagues, some of Ghanaian citizens in these affected areas don't have a place to stay. We have Sagleme sitting idle. The government must ensure that they house the people of these 11 affected communities.
It has to be done empirically. So we are collecting the data. We have evidence of what has been lost. Let's rely on the data and compensate people according to what they have lost. And then number three, you asked for three things. So one, I've told you about resettlement, Saglemi. Number two, compensation. And then number three, there's a public health crisis. The water has gone into mortuaries, into cemeteries, into refuse dumps. So we need public health experts, the Ghana Health Service, to move in quickly and offer medical assistance. We are doing it on our own small way, collaborating with the Ghana Medical Association. But looking at the cases that people are presenting with, cholera, typhoid, already, there is cause for alarm. And so we must scale up the public health response. Else, we'll no longer be grappling with floods, we'll also now be grappling with a public health emergency. So these are the three things that, to me, very, very urgent that the government must speak to.
We'll be meeting the VRA, and the issues are divided into two. We have short-term issues and long-term issues. So in the short term, it's about bread and butter issues. What can they do to make sure that the people continue being fed very well? Then secondly, we also talked about the public health response. And I spoke to the Director General of Ghana Health Service. As we speak, they have distributed medications to the various facilities around, so that in the event of any disease outbreak, they will take care of the people free of charge. That is what we have done so far. The regional director called the district director, and those things have been enforced as we speak.
The overflow from Makosombo and Bong dams has rendered numerous communities homeless. Our Dewekome in the central Tong district has been completely engulfed by the flood waters. Currently, over 2,000 residents have sought refuge in Batba, leading to the temporary closure of schools and health facilities. Todbi Sapiti, the Dufia of Batba, our Dewekome, is making a heartfelt appeal to the government to empower the National Disaster Management Organization to provide sufficient relief items to the affected communities.
We need a lot of things, mattresses. We need a temporary resettlement, or they should give us a resettlement. We have the land. Anyone who want to help us, we are ready to give them the land to assist us. Corporate organizations to come to our aid with cement, we are ready to build it ourselves. So please, our school is no more in session.
The assembly member for the areas, Simon Kumachi, says government must make appropriate arrangements to ensure that children can resume their education.
Evacuated to Bakba Alavanyu, the safe haven, and we are managing our life at that place. Yeah, and what I can say is friends, NGOs and other benevolent societies, organizations were visiting us, supporting us with the little they have, and we are managing our life over there.
The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kumar Boaje, who also visited the area, has pledged to ensure that flood-affected residents receive psychological support and adequate health care to help them cope with the trauma caused by the floods.
This water is going to contaminate all the other waters. You are going to have feces mixed up with your water. Not only that, your livestock are displaced, other wild animals are also displaced, and they all pose a major threat, not only to you, but also to the health of the environment.
Alex Gabi Hotoje is Member of Parliament for Central Tong.
This is a whole island, but we have a creek within it, which is not full to the brim as a result of the spillage. So we are here. This is our document for you, and it's part of my constituency. It's an island, it's wholly surrounded by water, and within it you still have creeks.
Meanwhile, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, under the leadership of National President Dr. Samuel Okodonko, toured some of the affected areas and handed over relief items, including medical supplies, valued at over 100,000 Ghana cedis. They also advised the government to establish an emergency relief fund to effectively respond to disasters.
It's been an eye-opening experience. You hear reports, you read about them, but being here, seeing it live, a complete house submerged, that's right on my left side. I mean, this is very serious. We are not currently maybe on a farmland, and the farms are completely gone. So you can see the complete livelihood of people gone, just like that. It's really a sad story.
Classroom, please. Si na school you go to the school la no dia in bane you back to camp within 2 weeks like I work for si give you where I'm feeling bo nebe chie go popola ya ko nuka ya wa na we temane kina ya to afri ato ada se school ko no school viola wa como ai de school apeneni you all agree with me that Akosombo Dam is one of the biggest legacies this country, our Ghana. It generates almost 1,200 megawatts of electricity for the nation. And it comes to a point where it's overflowing and needs to be discharged to the downstream. And this is what has come out of it. This is a result of that. And you realize that these victims that are going through this, it's not anything that they have done. It's not their fault. They are going through this to save Mother Ghana. If that is not done, you realize that our country will be plunged into darkness as a matter of fact. So it rolls on us as an individual, as a corporate organization, to come and salvage this suffering that our people are going through.
It is a difficult time, and we understand the urgency of the situation. And it is in moments like these that we must come together as a community, as a region, and as a nation to support those who are suffering the most. Today, our company, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, a corporate concerned citizen, is undertaking a humanitarian mission to provide assistance to the communities affected by this disaster. We understand that good sanitary environments, clean water, safety and sustenance are essential for survival and well-being. Therefore, we are providing you with token of waste bins, plastic buckets, brooms and other sanitary items to aid in maintaining a clean environment. Food items such as rice and cooking oil and water to satisfy your hunger and thirst.
This disaster, as I already said, affected 8 districts downstream the Volta River. As of this morning, our numbers have gone up, and we are registering 35,000 plus now. 3 days ago or 4 days ago, we got to the 31,000 mark. But now, the official figure we have registered now, both those who are at safe havens and those who are living with friends and family in their communities, the total number is 35,000 plus as we speak.
we will urge other individuals, corporate organizations, as you have doing already, to come to the aid of the citizens or persons affected in all these communities. Government is leading the charge in responding appropriately to the needs of these affected persons. But Ghanaians as we are, let's continue to show that commitment and support. Whatever you can do to help, please come to the aid of these affected persons. Already, some donations have come in, and the committee is doing its possible best to reach every individual that have been affected by this disaster.
We have been faced with a colossal tragedy, a tragedy of biblical proportion, an absolute devastation. We are distressed, we are depressed, we are traumatized. But today we can smile because of Mr. Ibrahim Muhammad and his wife.
This disaster hit. I just said, look, I need to pay back from where I started the company from. So if you've seen me here, especially even where my mother comes from here as well, I'm here to support you as my motherland. Thanks for receiving our donation, and we'll be back again.
When I look into the eyes of our mothers, our sisters, our aunties who are seated here, you see so much sadness. Their lives have been turned upside down overnight. These were people who were going about their daily activities every day and taking care of themselves. But as a result of the spillage and the subsequent flooding, they've had to be moved here, and they are in a situation which they haven't been in before. They have to rely on other people for basic amenities, and so it's a very sad situation. Their livelihoods have been completely disrupted. And so I am here on behalf of government, of course, to commiserate with them, to tell them we feel the pain that they are going through. And I say to them, Baba Nemi. We are told in the good book that in all things we should give thanks to God. Why are we thanking God in this situation? Because God has saved the lives of everybody who is here. So far, we've not heard of one loss of life, and that is something that we have to be thankful for. In many places, when you see this level of disaster, it always is accompanied by loss of life. So we thank God for their lives, and with life, we can really restore livelihoods and everything else. We want everybody, all the affected victims, to know that government is going to do everything in our power to make sure they are well taken care of.
We don't want what has happened at Akosombo to happen to us in Accra. The Akosombo spillage, even though VRA, NADMO, the Water Resources Commission came together to educate the people in the community, did simulation exercises with them even at Mepe, yet they refused to leave. They didn't want to be evacuated. They stayed there till the end when we started spilling. Unfortunately, look at what is happening. And government has to spend millions of money on relief items, on education. The whole area, the water is contaminated. And what Ghana Water and Water Resources Commission would have to spend money, millions of money, to treat the water before we can pass it through our pipes. So a stitch in time saves 9. But sometimes it's difficult to accept the situation. But we will plead with all of you to accept it as it is. And, you know, let's all come together and ensure that we have safe drinking water. That's the most important thing. Water is life. Water is essential to everything. Without water, we cannot survive. Without water, there will be no agric. Without water, there will be no health. Without water, in all other sectors of the economy, you need water. So help us to protect and preserve our water bodies.
So VRA has been carrying out dredging operations at the estuary over the past years. And our dredger is now aged. So there was a strategy to contract the dredging activity to a private company. VRA went through all the processes and was able to select a company. However, when they came in, I think the community had a misconception about what the operations were going to be. So there was an injunction placed on the dredging activities, which went to court and then later was resolved. In fact, the issue was to be taken out of court and then discussed amicably. Yes, if the dredging operation, were to be continuous, definitely it would also aid in draining the water downstream into the ocean. But mind you, this particular incident coincided with high tides. And anytime there is high tide, the river flowing into the ocean or the sea is also impeded. So yes, I will say that of course there was some, net effect. If the pathways were fully dredged, then at low tides, you could have a lot of water going into the sea. But that is not to say that the amount of flood or the inflows into the lake, and for that matter, how much we had to spill, if you consider that, I think the dredging would have also helped, but in these circumstances, would have still seen, this magnitude of flood that is associated with this year's dam spillage.
Personal independence relates to the commitment of individual judges to the judicial values that ensure their impartiality and fairness. I'm here referring to values such as eschewing corruption and not allowing ethnic and other particularistic considerations to affect judicial determinations. Institutional independence of the judiciary, on the other hand, relates to the constitutional, statutory, and other arrangements put in place to assure the independence of the judiciary. Issues that are customarily dealt with under institutional independence include separation of powers, security of tenure for judges, including appropriate provisions on the appointment process of judges, the conditions of service of judges, and the process for the removal of superior court judges, financial and administrative autonomy for the judiciary. The executive powers of the president and his functionaries must be drastically curtailed. There must be real separation of parliament from the executive branch. The emphasis should be on good and sincere governance in the interest of the people and not on hollow, over-exaggerated notions of electoral conferment of power on anybody or group of persons. Now, see the democratic process as it is being practiced. Is that the democracy the Constitution has ordained? Is that what we want? To me, it's just used as a smoke screen. In front of it, values and principles are preached. Behind it, it's deep-seated subversion of all.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 27th of October, 2023. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the very privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers, Daily Graphic. Align our Greek support with government priorities. Akufo-Addo tells foreign governments and agencies. Promoting value addition for green minerals. Minister woos Chinese government and investors. Vigil service for Gamania today. High Court sets aside injunction. Constituency Watch, Efutu makes strides in projects. Ghanaian Times, let's partner to support second phase PFJ, President Leo's development partners. Frontiers Healthcare Service debunks allegations of corruption. We will deal with personnel who extort from public. Ghana Police Service. Kandapa files order for substituted service on Bakavomao. Daily Guide. NPP chairman deny cash and cars bribe. Atufosin drops 3 witnesses. Court sets aside injunction against Gamanya funeral. Leverage resources to address energy poverty. Government focused on commercial agriculture. New Weekend Crusading Guide. He's smart and honest. Akufo-Addo divulges why he chose Dr. Bawumia as running mate. Africa can address persistent energy poverty. Dr. Ben Asante. In Kasem, Sompahini commends government for community mining initiative. What Rawlings failed to teach Akufo-Addo and others. Finance ministers have always been on Cocoa Board's board. Our economically empowered women, Efriye Akoto. The Insight. Palestine. Coalition of Muslim organizations petitions UN over Israeli atrocities in Gaza. Goodness Energy donates food items worth over 35,000 cedis to flood disaster victims in Qatar. Ghana's public debt to reach 99% of GDP by end of 2023, Fitch. Justice William Atugube's bombshell. Full text of address on protecting Ghana's democracy, the role of the judiciary. Gamanya funeral festivities, Nungwa Klagon, Santio, others not part of shopping ban. The Inquisitor, unhealthy politics, NDC's Erika J attacks Bawumia over death of press aide in 2016. Improving women's participation in the 2023 district level elections, the role of the media. Isaac Adongo schools are not on prayer on NIB problems. Editorial, Akosombo Dam spillage. After an unthinkable attacks on VRA, what next? The Herald. Ex-Energy Minister runs from $140 million judgment debt. Calls Kwabena Donkoel informed and irresponsible. Kenneth Japan threatens Afenyo Markin, Katie Amont, other NPP MPs, admits paying delegates. Fair Sky, Maripoma, others ready for Ioko probe over Professor Adair's road sector bribery claim. Chairman Tumi's $45 million Cocoa Board road contract revealed. Execution remains doubtful. The Daily Statesman. Be firm during our primaries. NPP urges please. PFJ 2 to transform our Greek landscape. Insurers are asked to create products for the poor. Ghana Health Service. No outbreak of disease in affected communities by spillage. Dr. Akoto promises women economic empowerment. The Ghanaian Observer. NPP presidential primaries. Constituency chairman rubbish Ken's 100,000 Ghana cedis bribe claim. Kandapa chases Bakavomao, 6 court order for substituted service on Kumonga. Bawumia, Yana cut sought for $150 million Soko projects. Government moves to boost NIB with 857 million cedis, majority chief whip. Africa can address persistent energy poverty, Ghana gas boss. The Finder, donor support for our Greek indispensable. Collaboration will be sustained, President Akufo-Addo. NHIS targets 20 million active members to mark 20th anniversary, Dr. Koboy. Frontiers Healthcare Services debunks allegations of corruption. Dr. Akoto pledges gender equality, financial support for women. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola!
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola!
beach hangout?
Angel Cola!
For all your refreshing moments.
Angel Cola!
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola!
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm afraid Missy Wayne.
Prepare Bantama.
Matias.
Her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we use Cal 360 toothpaste.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Guys, here, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 did the way.
It's cool mint, gives me fresh breath, and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling to Kawan in Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful Endpoint one?
Chesena me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me nu hofo kwa na mkwan mu a eba
and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko endpoint o mama nu nuru a ene ne wan den a watimi asori anante.
That's endpoint for you. Hello. Hey, ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di endpoint wa dance am me ko ye no me Joseph Sema na enkoyie e person na maye me nyina na magina sabema na me be fie for there e ho ade nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. Endpoint is my secret. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free. Hey, give it to me. Hey, man. Go. One time. Stop! Enough you guys, oh! Continue!
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Pack. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Pack app on www.gamepackgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Pack. Game Pack, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and cover the makers in Sranu Deuro.
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. I'm up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Izongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafubuachi Hospital Junction. Takwadi. Kuma. Number 9 Market.
To tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply.
The same got to moon, I'm a sissy.
Change your style. Be like that.
Shana phone baller.
Be like that.
Star 857 hash. Star 857 hash.
Shana phone baller.
Zulaya.
Shana phone baller.
Zulaya. 857 hash. Star 857 hash.
Change your style. Be like that.
Change your baller style. Don't be like that. Zoom Lion is here for everyone. Pay with star 857 hash and we will come for your baller. Zoom Lion. Tiami and fa baller wate.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning is the MD of STC, Nana Kumia. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Randy.
Also with me on the show this morning is the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the Brasebu Kwamankesi constituency, Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Good morning, Felix.
Good morning, Randy.
Right, so ready to treat your callers to good tunes while you win incredible rewards and points by purchasing, renewing, copying, or gifting your favorite caller tunes, and you can win amazing prizes based on your total accumulated points. You have built as many points as possible and you can win tons of data to stay connected to the things you love. Or you can win an amazing 10,000 Ghana cedis cash prize to splash on your favorite things. It's a perfect way to entertain your callers with music and get rewarded at the same time. Start collecting your caller tunes points today. Visit callertunes.mtn.com.gh and just dial *1355 hash, *1355 hash to get started on the MTN Caller Tunes service. And this promo lasts till the 7th of November 2023. Terms and conditions apply. All right. So if you're looking for that toothpaste that will make brushing exciting for your kids. Look no further. It's a Kel Kids toothpaste, which is flavored with strawberry. That gives a perfect taste for kids and makes them develop a personal attitude and love for brushing their teeth always. Kel Kids toothpaste protects child's gum, prevents cavities, and makes the teeth strong and healthy with freshness all day. Kel Kids toothpaste is recommended for children between the ages of 2 and 6 and is a product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel Kids, happy smile. And enjoying your fruits, the fruits of your labor, is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. Okay, the pains of climbing stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages, but worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered. With the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It is affordable and can be installed within 3 days. So visit Lift and Elevators at Sakuma or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultation and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. And I keep asking you, why don't you secure your future as far as education is concerned with the Accra Business School? You can boost your career with the prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. You can choose from Human Resource Management, Communication, International Marketing, International Relations, Public Affairs, or IT Management. In just 12 months, the MBA can be yours. Dive into the BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business Management endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. And the Accra Business School offers flexible entry payment and learning options convenient to you. It's time to unlock your potential and take position. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or call the Accra Business School on 0263 888 555 or 0263 888 666. Visit the campus at Spintex Road, Christ Square. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today. And whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you are, drink Angel Cola, your key to enjoyment. Angel Cola, love it. And ready for something refreshing, great tasting with excellent flavors? Onya, you've got varieties to choose from. Angel Orange for that special occasion. Angel Mango. Angel Peach, refresh your mood. Angel Apple Lime. Angel Drinks produce vitality and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel Drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. Angel Drinks are produced by Adonko Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. Angel Drinks taste like our day. And this is recommended for all, including children. And you can reach them on 0244 832286 and 050 787 8668. All right. Now, the
condolences are in order to you.
Condolences?
Yeah.
Why? What happened? I've not lost anybody.
Queen mother.
Oh, okay. Amanya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there clarity on
the way forward for the funeral?
There is. Yesterday, the court threw out the injunction. In fact, the decision of the court was that the granting of the injunction was made in error. And so...
The court erred?
Yes. They did not thoroughly examine the full facts of the issue. And so lawyer Ayikotu was the one who was there for the first defendant. And he led the thing. So the court has actually struck out the injunction. So there is no injunction on the funeral. So it's on. And the vigil is today. Yes.
I am no lawyer, but I have maybe something we can look at going forward. I have a difficulty with this. I don't know what the rationale is. This habit of one party in a dispute rushing to court to make sometimes they don't even need to make any prolonged arguments and securing an injunction to prevent another party from doing some action without the other party being given an opportunity to be heard. I don't know the principle that underpins that kind of practice, but I think it's something that needs to be looked at because it creates all manner of avenues for mischief makers.
Okay, so I get the point
Yes.
you're making, and I'm sure that here you're referring to going for such things ex parte.
Ex parte, exactly.
Okay. Rather than notice.
Exactly.
Okay, so you are referring to the potential for abuse
and mischief,
which is something that the courts
must deal with. Yeah.
Deal with. So
because it appears that almost invariably they are granted all the time.
So, for example, you'd realize that was the case if you take demonstrations, for example. That was the case in the past.
In the past, yes.
Until the court then ruled, was it a court? Either the court or the new rules was that you can only do so on notice.
Absolutely.
So that you do not take anybody by surprise.
Yes.
But of course, there are also very good reasons why ex parte exists.
Maybe
because
under exceptional circumstances.
Yes, the mischief too could be on the side of the other party, and therefore you could be disadvantaged if you are not given that opportunity. But
maybe the rules have to be made clearer.
It's the abuse that you're referring to.
Clear parameter sets and the conditions under which it can be granted or even sought should be tightened.
Because
so that it's not subject to this
because
kind of abuse.
Yes, the law allows it, but we've all been aware of this funeral for
so long, yes,
almost 3 months.
Exactly.
3 months.
Yes, and then
committees have been formed.
Exactly.
People are signing books of condolence, whatever, and then 48 hours to the funeral, somebody goes to court and secures an injunction. And it's not to suggest that the person doesn't have a right. Yeah. I'm just saying
the processes
must
be more streamlined.
So it's on.
Oh, okay.
It's on. And one of the things that I also found quite good was, initially there was a directive that schools, shops, and others should close from I think
yesterday.
Yesterday, but it was reversed. Okay. Yes, it was reversed, and then it was only Saturday, so it's only tomorrow that ban will be enforced. But I could appreciate that the reversal did not carry the same
weight as
as the
initial
thing. So yesterday there was crazy traffic in town.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure a lot of people were rushing, believing that all shops
do
and
their
markets
shopping quickly before.
Right. And same as the ban on drumming and dancing, there are people who also think that when there's a ban like that, it's the entirety of Greater Accra.
Okay. It's restricted to.
But this is Gamashi.
Oh, okay.
So some of the other areas, like Chungwa and others,
maybe they want to solidarize with
others.
With their brothers.
Yes.
But anyway,
people don't even know that the ban on drumming and noise making doesn't cover everywhere at the same time.
Oh, okay.
There is a period for Gamashi.
Okay.
People have their period. The other areas have their own periods and all that. Right. So I accept your
condolence.
He must also bring his donation, which is perhaps even more important.
He was MP for 16 years. Okay, so he was MP for where
the palace.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Carnation.
All right.
I also understand you proceeded with the Black Stars to go and lose 4-0 or something.
I was here with you on Friday. They played the Black Stars played their first game on Saturday. I was with you here on Friday.
No, last week Friday I wasn't here.
Not last week Friday.
Yeah,
you were 2 weeks. You weren't here.
Last 2 weeks. That was last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were here with me.
No, not last week Friday.
2 weeks ago.
No, not last
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But when was the match?
It was at the dawn of. No, it was Saturday.
So you were not there.
The dawn of Sunday.
I was not there for the first.
It was the dawn of Sunday.
I went to watch the second game.
Which we won.
Which on hindsight, I'm sure you regret. It's one of those things.
4-0.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That you proceeded with the boys to go and.
I didn't proceed with them. They were there.
So you joined them.
I went to watch the game.
I
went to watch a game.
I will still urge patience. It takes a bit of time with the team and maybe a few tweaks here and there, but generally we should be patient. I mean, it takes a bit of time to have.
We need Nana to come and
share to come out of retirement.
No. That would even have challenges playing Monday Stars.
I'll play for 20 minutes. No, the first 20 minutes.
You'll be
you'll be okay, but beyond that,
yeah.
So you may require an ambulance on standby.
Ambulance on standby.
All right.
It was really painful watching the game.
It happens. It happens.
So when I heard the score, I asked, was Randy there? He said he was there.
What could he have done? I mean, nothing. Beyond perhaps listening to ear moving boycotts. There's nothing he have done.
Where I was seated, there was no way I could even get close.
I hope they bounce back for the World Cup qualifiers.
In a couple of weeks, we have 2 competitive games in a week.
I understand the Nigerian team is in super shape.
Oh man,
they've got quite a few big stars.
No. They tend to have 9 strikers with no midfield and no defense, no goalkeeper.
They have some very strong players.
Yeah, they've got some strong players,
but mostly forward players.
But it's very competitive now. You know, the game
African
in Africa
nations.
It's extremely competitive now. Everybody is taking the game serious. There's a lot of development, you know, and so gone are the days where you had such a gulf, you know, between countries. Now it's quite close. Yeah, it's quite close. I've seen the producers are trying to reach a grade co, you know. I've seen a statement and I don't get the head and tail of the statement. A very short one. You know, the people who've been complaining about intermittent power outages and all that. Now, this is what the statement says, and it's not from ECG, from GridCo. The Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, the operator of the National Interconnected Transmission System, NITS, informs the general public that due to limited gas supply to Tema, there will be a supply gap of 550 megawatts at peak time. This will affect power supply to consumers in some parts of the country. The inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Now, Nana, I read this statement, and like I said, this is not from ECG, this is from GridCo. So GridCo is telling us that there's limited gas supply to Tema. So there will be a supply gap of 550 megawatts at peak time. Now, it will affect power supply to consumers in some parts of the country. The inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Which parts of the country, we don't know.
Yeah. Which times?
Yes, they said peak time. But which parts of the country, we do not know. This obviously means that this is not something accidental or something that has just happened, a trip or something. So this is something which is known, predetermined. Shouldn't this be followed with, let's say, some exact timetable about which areas and at what times and which days? Because giving me just this, you want to, I guess what you want to tell me is that when your lights go off,
don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised. And that's it.
Yeah. I saw the statement, I think yesterday or so. And I had the same questions. In the first place, we don't get our power from GridCo.
Yes.
We buy our electricity from ECG, Electricity Company of Ghana. So they should be communicating with us. GridCo supplies ECG and some of the other bulk power consumers. And ECG offloads to we, the individuals. So we have a contract with ECG when we buy electricity. So they should be talking to us. And I'm sure if this statement had come from ECG, it would most likely have come with the areas, because GridCo doesn't supply areas. It just gives it to ECG.
Yes.
It's the ECG that supplies Dansoman and Mataheko and Takrady. And so they would know which parts would go off. So I was surprised when I saw the statement coming from GridCo. And like you said, ECG should quickly come with a supplementary statement.
But if GridCo, as you said, if even GridCo sees the need to communicate this to the public, what about ECG that takes our money?
Yeah. So they should quickly But what has caused the shortage of gas? For me, did they explain?
No, they only said that limited gas supply to Tema.
Yeah, so it means there's gas shortage. Anyway, and when will it be resolved? 2 days, 3 days?
They didn't tell us.
Anyway, the ECG boss, Mahama, young man, is very proactive. So I'm surprised. But let's hope that before the middle of the day, some better clarity will come from ECG. And ECG, because they interface with the public, they have a very active PR, public relations department, who are trained to deal with customers to ECG and Ghana Water. Quite impressive. When you have any issues with water, they are very patient with you. There are times when you yourself, you want to, kick somebody's back because, but they are quite patient. And ECG as well. They have very good, well-trained PR, public relations department. I don't think Gridco has that kind of focus. So ECG should come out quickly to clarify. If you're going to take people off electricity, you're going to cause them pain. But if you inform them about it, so psychologically they can be prepared and also then make alternative arrangements, it soothes the discomfort. But you're going to cause people pain. You don't tell them when the pain is coming. You leave them in an uncertain situation. So the lack of information will worsen the plight of the. So as I sit, or as we sit, we don't know if our areas are part of it or not now. So ECG should quickly come with a supplementary statement to clarify the matter.
Right, Phyllis.
Randy, quite frankly, I almost disregarded the statement. In terms of its authenticity, I thought that someone was up to some mischief because of the widespread power outage. Because it communicated very little, beyond saying that there was a shortfall of some 550 megawatts due to shortages in gas supply. Very open-ended, didn't indicate when consumers should expect any relief of any sort. But it is understandable also why Gridco would put out a statement, because they invariably are the middlemen. They take power from the producers and then supply it in bulk to ECG, which does the distribution. So the problem was coming from the non-receipt of electricity from the producers to Gridco. But if Gridco was going to put out a statement, then there should have been better coordination with ECG as well, so that they make an input in terms of timelines. But what they did yesterday was most unacceptable. At a time when people were wallowing in darkness and heat and discomfort, the last thing they needed was a confusing terse message that said nothing. Around you asked about why we are experiencing, and the truth is that this has been going on for quite some time. In the last couple of weeks, this has been going on. People complain, but there's been no information forthcoming and what have you. And the simple reason for these shortages is that this government can simply not find money to pay for gas supplies from various suppliers. Notably, the West African Gas Company, WAPCO. My information is that they owe WAPCO about $20 million. And they have been unable to make good payment despite several promises. And so WAPCO turned down the volumes of gas that they supply. And that is why we are in this mess. I also understand that some monies are owed to the suppliers of gas from our oil fields, ENI and Co.
No, but our indebtedness in that sector
it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous, right?
It's
Given
crazy.
all the, you see,
it's crazy.
The last time I was here, I spoke to you about Doomsday and the comprehensive attempt to address it under the Mahama administration. At least by the time we left office, our way was quite clear. There was sufficient generation capacity. In addition to that, financial arrangements had been put in place so that if you did the calculation up to the end of this year, we should have received in excess of 30 billion Ghana cedis from the, what do you call it, ESLA levy. Mind you, this government even has increased it by about 40% or so. So about 30 billion Ghana cedis should have been available. And really 30 billion Ghana cedis should translate into the region of something of around $3 billion. This should be sufficient to substantially address the financial difficulties of the sector. But if you look closely at how this money has been put to use, you find that it's been diverted into other areas. The last time we checked, some 600 million Ghana cedis have been diverted to do something else. The minority complained about it. I recall the former finance minister, Honorable Setepe, complained about it and drawing attention to it. No proper responses have been received. So, and this is a government that has not had reason to add to generation capacity. The heavy lifting was done by the Mahama administration. Within a space of about 2 years, between 2014 and 2016, close to 2,000 megawatts capacity in terms of generation was added. Then arrangements were made to pay down legacy debts, which over the years had clogged the sector, and give comfort to creditors and other suppliers who we deal with. So you expected that after 2016, if we're going to have problems, they will be more minimal than what used to be the case. But the problems appear to have worsened already. About 2-3 months ago, we were all here when the IPPs threatened to shut down their thermal plants. They were owed close to $1 billion, and some 10% or so was paid. Around $100 and something million was paid. And so they stopped, or they did not carry through with the threat to shut down electricity generation. So we got out of the woods. It appears that after that, no serious effort has been made to meet them halfway and also address some of the financial difficulties in various sectors. Yeah, this was a party, and Anakumia was instrumental in the period. Every 2 weeks, he will hold a press conference lambasting the NDC government, accusing us of everything. And only yesterday, I retrieved yet another tweet from his boss, Baumia, waxing lyrical about Doomso, that it is our legacy and that they were going to do away with it. We have done the heavy lifting for you, just to ensure that the sector runs smoothly. The last time you spoke about the cash water fund mechanism, and it was not introduced by Baumia or this government.
Yes.
The lines of Alex Mood and Co. When they take off first, it was put in place by the NDC administration to ensure that ECG receives adequate returns for the power that they sell, so that they can then pay all the people that they are indebted to. Because if they pay Gridco is then also able to pay the IPPs, who are then able to pay their creditors, meet their financial obligations, so that we have a smooth sailing running system. Assuming they without admitting that we in the NDC didn't do anything about the electricity, you have been in power for 8 years. It is sufficient time to address whatever problems they are. If you are not able to address these problems, you have no business being in power.
Felix, is the issue really not about the inefficiency, so to speak,
yes,
of ECG?
Yes.
And the political games that are played with the pricing of electricity. And I'm saying this because you realize that under the IMF program, the PURC now, one of the conditions is for the quarterly review.
Yes.
And so you see that almost every quarter
there are some marginal adjustments.
So one, that then is dealing with the forex depreciation and losses. And it's also dealing with inflation and all those other issues. And so at least there is a review every quarter.
Yeah. So reflects.
So yes. And that is something that had not been done for close to 5 years.
Because of political
rent seeking. And so if you have a situation where the ECG receives, let's say, power of, let's say, $100 million, and then right from the go, it is going to report 30% losses. What it means is that it can only even account for 70% of what it has received. And then its own inefficiencies in terms of collection and all those things then leads to further losses. I mean, how any country believes that you can run
a system like that and have,
you know,
a smooth, what do you call it?
You have a situation where your currency is being battered every single day. This the power is sold to ECG in US dollars, and they sell to us in cedis, and they have to pay in US dollars.
Yes, so there are losses.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Is it Randy? It is true what you are saying is something, and indeed, to be fair, it's an age-old difficulty. And because of political pressures and the way we do our politics around here, governments have been unable to put arrangements in place that ensure that ECG is viable financially. It's an age. I will not pretend that it is a recent problem. because invariably the cost of electricity is a major political issue. And the MPP played it. Again, I recall, I can pull his statements for you, berating the NDC administration.
But we're going from bad to worse.
Yes, his boss, Bawumia, indeed, he insisted.
His candidate.
Oh, he's his boss. He's the PR man for, even though it has not been announced. I'm convinced that he's a PR man. He's the man in charge of Bawumia's propaganda and all of that. Except that, I will continue to ask why he has advised Bawumia to hide from the economic difficulties. But that's another.
Is it after November 4th?
But you should be speaking now. November 4th is too late. Right? But back to the point.
November 4th, there will be a big lecture.
We don't lectures. I beg. Right, the last time he held the lecture, we also saw the consequence.
Restoring the value of the CD.
I see.
Yes.
No problem.
Pro Max version.
No problem. We'll be here with appropriate diagnosis and distillation of the lecture. But right, the point I'm making is that when they were in opposition, Bawumia, he called for parity in terms of electricity prices in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. His boss, Nana Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, also called for same, which meant that they had an idea of what to do to ensure that we achieve the efficiency you are talking about, and then consumers also have reliable service at a price that is commercial, but what do you call it, manageable and affordable for them. Randy, we had two problems in the energy sector over the years. The first one was chronic shortfalls in generation capacity. So you find that over the years, for a period of about 3 decades, starting from the mid-80s, at least within a 5-year cycle, we had this major load shedding exercises. Up until 2014, when the problem came to a head, not much substantial investment had gone into addressing that problem. So President Obama took it upon himself as a responsibility that should do to address that part of the problem comprehensively. That is why I referred you to the addition of about 2,000 megawatts. This government came in and started making noises about so-called excess capacity and what have you. But at least as we speak, we cannot say that we do not have the capacity to generate the power. That was addressed comprehensively. Then in addition to that, there were challenges with financing operations in the sector. There was too much debt arising out of the inefficiency that you speak about. So let us do something about it. There was an upward adjustment in petroleum prices. It was significant at around 10% or so, which also met with stiff opposition from President Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, and the MPP, especially their parliamentarians. But government went ahead with it and ensured that we had some consistent cash flow that helped us address that. The other part of the problem was the historical inefficiency of ECG. So essentially what happens? ECG buys power at a certain rate, but does not sell it at a rate that enables them to recoup even the investment they made. That enables them break even. And another problem is at STC. If the revenue he receives is less than what it cost him to run STC, then he should not be in business. That institution should be closed down because it's not a charity organization. At the very least, they must break even. In other words, they should meet their cost after they take into account everything they spent and everything they received. If ECG gets to that position, we will not have the problems you're having. Right? I had a look at ECG's balance sheet sometime last year. And within 1 year, sometime in 2020, Randy, they had incurred a loss of 6 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Similar amounts, that is for 2020. In 2021, the amount was similar, 6 billion Ghana cedis. For 1 month in 2020, that is December 2020, they incurred forex losses of about $50 million. That it is not sustainable. There's no way that we can run around the subject. Then we are in a situation where, in opposition, because of the petty politicking that they engaged in, this government promised to reduce electricity prices when it was going to have devastating consequences for ECG and all the other players. So they came in and whimsically announced so-called reductions and further compounded the problems of ECG. So ECG worsened the under-recoveries that they had been having over the period, which was having the knock-up effect on all the other players. So yes, we have resolved the generation problem. But within a matter of 7 years that this government has been in power, they should have taken it upon themselves to address the inefficiency problem. For a long time, we've been talking about losses of about technical loss of about 30% for ECG. Right? This can be addressed with efficient management, efficient revenue collection, and efficient pricing, so that we do not have this situation. Because until that situation is addressed, we are going to run around in circles. So what we need is a government that is bold, that is not fixated with political rent seeking, that does things only so that they can clap for themselves and seek votes when addressing nothing. This government has addressed nothing. There's not a single problem they have addressed. If you come to electricity, at least President Mama can say that he comprehensively addressed the generation problem. What has this government addressed in the electricity sector? Nothing. All we have are reckless. Look at this GPGC problem. You come and meet a power agreement. If that power agreement goes to completion in the 4 years that it was supposed to last, we will pay a total of $150 million. After they have delivered value, in other words, after they have produced electricity for us to use. You say no, you don't want it, you will cancel it. You go and set up some wishy-washy committee which recommends cancellation of the contract. You cancel it against better advice. Then you are taken to arbitration. You put up a wishy-washy defense. Your attorney general, who will win every case locally and lose every case internationally.
Oh, he's won some arbitration cases.
No, he has. Right, we serious arbitration. The one that matter, he doesn't do. He's lost us $140 million. $140 million. Right, the one that he won, what was the value? $140 million. And what was the excuse? COVID. The same COVID excuses that they've been pushing down the throats.
Oh, Randy says, calm down the propaganda.
What propaganda? You are telling you not lost us $140 million. Where's the propaganda? Have we not lost $140 million?
Take a cue.
A cue from where? We've lost $140 million. That's the only cue I'm taking. $140 million, Randy. Because of petty politicking. You see, when that is the issue, that's at the heart of the issue. Let us not, it sounds funny, but it is not. $140 million, especially for a country that is in the difficulty that we are in. Right? We are looking for the next tranche of IMF extended credit facility, around $600 million. And yet, at the same time, we have to look for $140 million in this depressed economy to defray completely avoidable debt. You go and lose, and then you yourself go and file an appeal in the UK court. Come for the hearing, you are sitting in Ghana claiming that you are having elections. Randy, did the Attorney General's office close down because of the election? What was the role that the Attorney General was playing in the election? Assuming that he was even, and it's not that he was even contesting for a parliamentary seat. Even if he was, he had an obligation to go and defend the state in this. You say there are elections, and there's also COVID, as if there was no COVID in the UK. So, rightfully, the UK court did not entertain this excuse and threw him out. Now, we are on the verge of losing some of our assets in the United Kingdom because Trafigura, who are behind GPGC, have attached those assets to defray the debts that we owe them. So there has been complete mismanagement, partisanship, and a penchant to seek political plaudits in the management of the energy sector. But we have to come to a conclusion, Randy, that politics or no politics, that sector must survive. Politics or no politics, ECG must operate efficiently. There's no reason why they should not operate efficiently. So yes, politically, you may say that these quarterly increments should give the opposition some mileage. You should go to town and argue. But really, it is a much more sensible thing to do than to wait to pile on the heat on consumers by doing massive increments over a period. So perhaps if we had been doing that over the period, we won't get here. Because the increment is minimal. Yes, it imposes additional difficulty. But somebody has to meet the cost of electricity. If in opposition, they had thought in this nationalistic way, we won't be where we are today, Randy. After making all the noise, giving us the flag, even opposing the setting up of ESLA, they came to increase it. And after increasing it too, you are misapplying the funds. Randy, where has the 30 billion Ghana cedi gone to? What have they done with it? Where is the money? Nasikano, where is it? How come we are so still heavily indebted, despite all the resources that they've had? So a serious way thing has to be done on how to ensure that the ECG operates in a way that does not put all other players in the sector in the financial difficulty that we are in at the moment. That conversation must be had, and it must be devoid of politics. It must definitely be devoid of politics. The MPP must put their solution on the table. For 8 years, they have been dodging. They have failed to take responsibility. They don't appear to have a clue on what to do to address the problem. And you see, Randy, the solution does not lie with periodic operations by ECG. So they will go to Ministry of Information and cut their light. go to Flagstaff House and cut their light, go to Parliament and threaten fire and brimstone and cut their light. That is not the problem. Okay. The problem is with tariff setting. The problem is with hiring the right people to manage the systems. The problem is deploying the right equipment. And look at the mess that they created with the PDS problem. Another country, the United States of America, decide that they will give you their taxpayers' money, around $540 million of it, to reform the distribution sector. And recently, you know, they've been commissioning a number of transmission stations. All of them were financed through the Millennium Challenge Account Compact, the $540 million that President Obama secured in 2014. But there were other components meant to inject some efficiency in the management of ECG itself to achieve the objectives that we are discussing here. Right? What did they do? They thought that that was yet another family heirloom, you know, that should become the subject of nepotism for some members or people close to the president to feed fat. So what did they do? They ended up destroying that arrangement. In the end, they set up a company overnight that clearly did not have the capacity. Collected monies, which they themselves issued a report and said was fraudulently collected. Randy, are you aware that PDS has paid the money back? Where is the evidence that they've paid? They've not paid. Billions of Ghana cedis sit with PDS. And PDS was only a front for people in this government, that we know. So, even in the management of largesse, free money that has been given to you by another country, you thought corruption was the way to go, at the expense of addressing the major difficulty that we have faced historically. So yes, the problem has historical roots, but this government has shown that they don't have what it takes to address it. Look at their behavior in that sector, Randy. Almost every part of the value chain in any sector has been captured, has come under state capture. Randy, look at how they have behaved with energy supplies. They come into power. Within 4 months of coming to power in 2017, they set up a company overnight to take over the supply of oil or fuel for powering thermal plants. So they come screaming about excess capacity payments. They say they paid $1 billion over a certain period. You go into the breakdown and you find that 300 million Ghana cedis has been paid to a company called Stratcom Oil also. And you look into this Stratcom Oil, they were formed in July 2017, overnight. You look at who is behind it, you see people close to the president. And a fiat is issued that only they should supply fuel to the players within the sector. Randy, we find gas in Ghana Gas at what do you call it, Jubilee Field. So we set up a gas plant to process this. Overnight, another company enters the fray, Gensa. You look at the people behind it, close friends of the president, and they are getting sweetheart deals. Gas that is produced at in excess of $6 is being sold to them at $2.7, so that the state incurs a loss of $1.5 billion. You go into the other arrangements that have been put in place to shore up our generation and transmission capacity, and you find that people close to this government have occupied positions. So they see the responsibility to govern as an opportunity to fleece us, to make money, fatten their pockets at the expense of the poor people of this country. So the people who were sleeping in Lumso yesterday and wallowing in frustration and suffering have become the victims of this sort of greed and scramble for resources in the energy sector. So, in order to address it, that thirst for corruption must also be addressed fundamentally. The people who see this as an opportunity to grab money that they have not earned or deserved must be moved so that people with integrity, the right mindsets, and appropriate skill sets are put there to manage the sector efficiently. Randy, I can assure you that the NDC has that capacity. Our record is clear. Yes, we have done so. But we also tackled it comprehensively. This government, have they been able to tackle the inefficiency? They have not. So 7 years down the line, we are still decrying inefficiency.
Nana, I'm sure that on a couple of occasions, I've been with you here when I interviewed Ben of ASEP on some of the energy issues. Now, interestingly, in this discussion, I just remembered their July 2023 report on the energy sector. And I've just found some things that I think are relevant to our discussion. Maybe I might just...
Yeah.
Okay. So, a bit lengthy, but it says recently, this is the July 2023 Energy Alert from the Africa Center for Energy Policy, switching gears, protecting Ghana's economic sustainability in the face of power sector risk. And the relevant portions that I want to... It says that recently, the Electricity Company of Ghana has garnered attention for its determined efforts to improve the collection of outstanding bills from consumers and implement a new billing system to address recurring inefficiencies in power sales. As the primary contributor to the financial struggles within the sector, ECG has embarked on a debt recovery campaign to collect approximately 5.7 billion cedis, around $475 million, owed by power consumers. The company asserts that it successfully recovered about 3.1 billion cedis, around $258 million. Remarkably, despite these touted recoveries, there's been no discernible improvement in liquidity, at least through the cash waterfall mechanism, the established mechanism for tracking collections and payments along the power sector value chain. The independent power producers, IPPs, Volta River Authority, Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, Ghana National Gas Company, GNGC, Ghana National Petroleum Company, GNPC, and the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, all echo the same question: where is the money? It is clear from the cash waterfall mechanism data that substantial portions of ECG's collections were not directed towards the paying off the value chain or making any substantial impact on the continually escalating debt owed to the IPPs and the rest of the stakeholders. The whereabouts of the 3.1 billion collected by ECG remain elusive. According to the cash waterfall mechanism, all revenue should be appropriately accounted for and distribution should be carried out based on approved proportions determined by the cash waterfall mechanism committee. However, reports from the cash waterfall mechanism indicates that between March and April, ECG reported total revenue of 1.1 billion, averaging 550 million cedis per month. This amount represents approximately 35% of the 3.1 billion cedis claimed by ECG. Even more concerning is that more than 50%, about 540 million cedis of the reported revenue was used for discretionary spending by ECG. The balance of the 1.1 billion accounted for only represents about 11% of the revenue requirement for the sector under the cash waterfall mechanism for March and April 2023. The company claims that it used the 540 million to procure liquid fuel for some power plants during shortfalls in gas supply, while refusing to pay the gas suppliers through GNPC. The non-payment to the gas sector companies compelled the West Africa Pipeline Company Limited, WAPCO, to reduce reverse flow gas volumes from the west to the east. East is Tema, right? Okay. To the contracted volume of 60 MMSCFD on July 1, 2023. WAPCO curtailed the reverse flow of gas for hours because of the outstanding payments. Out of the prior agreed scheduled payments of $15.236 million for June 2023, GNPC could pay only $1.246 million, attracting the activation of the contractual clauses to cut supply. Is that what is happening now? Yes. Subsequently, gas supply has been restored on condition that the government pays half of the outstanding balance of $20 million by July 7, 2023. It goes on with the gas supply arrangements and all that. But we are told that there is $3 billion. That is how much is owed to the IPPs. $3 billion US.
How much did ECG collect? Just about some 500 million. From what you read.
For that operation that they did.
Yeah.
Is it the operation?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 5.4 billion cedis came to about $500 billion.
Yes, they said they were owed 5.7 billion. That's around $475 million.
Okay.
And the company asserts that it successfully recovered 3.1 billion. That's around $258 million.
So that means there's still a huge gap between what they collected and what is owed. And even if they had put all the money they collected into paying the debt, it would just be a drop.
If you look at what is owed, if we even want to still stick to the 3 billion, what it means is that
$3 billion.
Yes, $3 billion. What is owed is about 36 billion cedis.
Yeah. So what they collected is still a drop. But of course, we should be interested in how they are using the money, and also why there was such a long time when they were not collecting, because it looked like it's an ad hoc operation.
Yeah.
but it should be a regular operation. I mean, if you are selling power, you should be collecting your money. And even though it seemed to be successful, it looked like an ad hoc operation. But this should be a regular operation. You should know the amount of power you are selling, and you should know the amount of revenue you expect, and not wait for it to pile up. And we should also be interested in finding out how, because even if it's $400 million, that's quite a lot of money, how it's being spent. And the people like this NGO, yes, they should be. They should not just be raising the issues and leaving them. Randy, it's time that issues of public concern are resolved. Many times, that's when NPP and DC, we take delight in bashing each other. I mean, Felix has taken great delight in bashing NPP, literally accusing the NPP of having brought back Dumso, even though there's no evidence to that effect. But
so what's the evidence doing?
You know it is not Dumso.
But what is it? Why you the lights go off and carbon does it mean? What is it?
Anyway, so Felix is trying to force us to believe that there's Dumso.
Lala, what happened yesterday?
You know it is not.
But what is it?
Didn't you have power this morning?
Yes, but it went on for long hours. And that's exactly what Dumso is.
I'm saying that we should be moving away.
Not to disturb your trend of thoughts.
Yes,
I hope I don't do that. But I just think there's something we need to address quickly in view of what you and Felix just did.
Okay.
You see, and I've asked this question a few times, especially the times that I do the discussions with Ben, that if we say, the refrain, we have kept the lights on, we have kept the lights on.
Yeah.
At what cost have we kept the lights on? And I am worried about this. As we speak now, we are talking about some 36 billion cedis. Okay. Now, I'm saying this because prior to us going to the IMF, we had the same refrain. Despite all the challenges, we are still on free SHS. We are still paying teacher training allowance. We are still paying nursing training allowance. We are still paying salaries. The economy is still going on. And the question was, at what cost? At what cost? At what cost? We did not answer that question until it became so debilitating that we had to go to the IMF in the situation that we went. We had to declare ourselves bankrupt. Now, same with this energy crisis. We currently are at about $3 billion. We don't have the money to pay. The companies keep producing, and we keep increasing this debt. We're told that for the companies, it makes sense for them to continue producing that we owe rather than to shut down. But at which point in time is this something which is sustainable?
Yeah.
Obviously, at a certain point in time, they will have no choice than to stop.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for that time to realize that, despite the fact that we have the lights on, if we do not deal with these issues, we could have a situation where perhaps what we will get into will be worse than whatever.
No, I agree with what you are saying. I mean, these are issues we should look at. Let me deal with it quickly before I come back to Felix. So, we've kept the lights on. At what cost? That goes to the remark by Felix about the pricing, which is a historical problem that we must deal with. And I'm sure we can talk about the difficulties. But what you're saying is that the pricing should be right.
Yeah.
There may be political difficulties in getting the price right. If you let the political difficulties stand in your way, then you are postponing the showdown. That's what you are doing.
Yes.
So you have to get the price right. And in getting the price right, you have to look at the things that make the price change, the cost of electricity change, and deal with those issues. The biggest of them, I'm sure, is the value of the city. Because all the components that go into costing of electricity are imported. And so they are bought with dollars. So if we don't find a mechanism, an economic paradigm that will keep our currency stable. It will increase the cost of electricity. And then because of political difficulties, we are not able to pass it on. And so we keep piling up the debt. So that's an issue that we have to address as a country. Now, you talked about what is the cost. In the case of electricity, clearly the cost is being postponed. Yes. And we've done that forever, burying our heads in the sand. As for the other things, like some of the free SHS and so on, there has been a statement that tells us how much the flagship programs cost in terms of our total debt. And you get the impression that it doesn't cost much in terms of our total debt. But that kind of explanation should be more forthright from the
I only use that just to illustrate a point.
Yes.
That sometimes we're told that you are enjoying something despite the difficulties.
The cost has been hidden.
And we those excuses are made so that we do not look at the real problem until the problem hits us, like our debt has done to us.
Yeah. So I agree with you that we keep postponing the day of reckoning, especially with electricity, and also with water.
Yes.
Also with water, the pricing. And Felix at some point was attributing the inefficiency of electricity, the company. The company has nothing to do with the pricing. The pricing or the cost changes because the price of the dollar changes, and that one you can't blame.
They are inefficient.
I don't want to. I think there's also inefficiency in the way that it is handled.
I agree, but that particular one, that in terms of the pricing, there are inefficiencies of collection. There are inefficiencies
and corruption and
line losses and theft. Illegal connections, and so they need to have a system where illegal connections can be detected. Because the people that you send to go and detect illegal connections,
they go and compound it by doing more illegal connections.
They will compound it, but that's
the thing. They will do more illegal connections.
That's where the economic rent comes in.
Exactly.
They go and we have to have a system.
So if you can detect it 3 months exercise, like you said, the point you made. How come it is not detected every day?
But that's what I'm saying. That for those
there's technology, you can do it by sitting in your office and detecting it.
Absolutely. So, but the pricing is so key, and the pricing is beyond the capacity of ECG. But some of the things that Felix said, too much propaganda. Even when you try to restrain him, he won't agree. He was fighting you.
Randy was restraining. You know what I was saying was true. Anyway, go ahead. So list them and listen.
Okay, so he was fighting you. Felix. Okay, so Felix talked about, he said there has been some insider dealings. There's some monies that were paid to a company called Stratcom and then a company called Gensa. And he's not happy with those payments. He believes that those companies and payments are tinted with corruption and all of that. I don't know these Gensa people. I've heard the name. After the Stratcom, when you said Stratcom, I thought you were talking about this PR company.
No, I think it's Statoil.
Whatever it is. But you said it's a company like that.
Yes,
I don't know.
Stratcom is they are in charge of supplying
But you see,
fuel
Felix,
for the energy sector.
If you in the political opposition, you have information to the extent that there is some impropriety, major impropriety going on in the energy delivery system. And there are companies called Stratcom and Gensa and all of that who are having sweetheart deals. That's the word Felix used. That's your belief. You have a responsibility to ensure that these matters are properly brought before a platform that they can be addressed. That's why earlier already I was telling you that we need to move away from this crossfire that we do because it doesn't serve the interest of the public. Just this week, or was it last week, a professor made a statement about road contracts. And he said that before you get a contract, they demand 1 million cedis from you. Just crossfire. Happily for me, the ministry involved has taken the matter to Ioko, so that proper evidence can be adduced if there is evidence, so that the matter can be addressed properly, so that the public interest will be served. Because clearly it is not in the public interest that this thing will go on. And if the allegation is made from a highly respected member of society, like the professor, we shouldn't just take it as effusions. And so the ministry has gone to a platform that can bring the professor and that can bring the ministry, and then we can see if there's any merit in it, so that the public interest can be served. And I'm praying that this crossfire between NPP and NDC comes to that scrutiny. It doesn't remain at the level of crossfire. So if you have evidence, and you had major opposition, that there's some insider dealings, there are sweetheart deals in the energy delivery, and that companies have been set up, masquerade companies, and they are getting all kinds of deals that are not, they shouldn't be getting, and you've provided names. You should be moving beyond the crossfire. And fortunately, we have a parliament where the numbers are now equal. And the speaker is from the NDC. I used to hit Okudjeto's head on this matter all the time, because he's an MP, you are not. But the political opposition, take steps. Activate that platform of parliament if you believe that really there's some wrongdoing going on and that the public interest is not being served. So we can all follow and see that the public interest is protected. If the Energy Committee of Parliament is activated and they go into the energy delivery and they find out that there are some companies that have been set up and they are getting sweetheart deals, it has to be dealt with. Because now you have the power and the opportunity in Parliament. Now, you said, talk about PDS. You said PDS is wishy. What I remember, the Grandi, even with PDS, why? You can call for a proper inquiry into the matter using the platform of Parliament, if you believe that some wrongdoing had occasion. What I know is that actually the Americans, they were happy with PDS, the company called PDS. And they actually wanted the PDS structure to continue. It's actually the government of Ghana that said it wasn't happy with the way the PDS had been set up and operating, and actually canceled the contract. And as a result of that, the Americans withdrew their money. That's what I know, and I believe these are the facts. If you believe that the PDS itself was not something, you are even saying that they still owe money, they collected so much money that they haven't paid. Why are we then sitting down and come to talk about it on Good Morning Ghana? It's good that you come and talk about it on Good Morning Ghana, but after that we go home. And you are a responsible political opposition. If I am in your shoes, and I have this information, and we have the current power structure in Parliament, you would activate it. Because you also want to, beyond embarrassing the government, which is your chief aim, you also want to serve the public interest. Now, you talked about made allusion about this current judgment debt. Is it Trafigura? That's what you're referring to. He said we set up some. The government of Akufo-Addo set up some wishy he said wishy-washy committee. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, but the outcomes may be out.
yeah. I mean,
the summary of the work of the committee is that we owe $140 million that we have to pay.
Yes, I haven't. Take it easy.
So wishy-washy can't pay. Ask me. Take it very easy. Diplomatic.
You take it easy. Listen, I've just retrieved a statement. That was issued. And Randy, I'll just quote. In September 2016, the SY Ministry of Power constituted an interministerial committee to review the fiscal and legal implications of the power purchase agreements executed by the government. Now, this committee was set up in September 2016. And the statement then goes on. This became necessary owing to the government's realization that there was the need to provide adequate and affordable power to the citizenry, whilst avoiding excessive capacity development, which would lead to increased capacity charge payments. The committee was inaugurated on the 29th of September 2016 by the Chief Director of the Ministry of Power and consisted of 17 members drawn from relevant government institutions, and they presented their report in April 2017. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is that this so-called Felix Kwachi's wishy-washy committee said the government set up is not true. The committee was actually set up in September 2016.
Wasn't it reconstituted when the MPP took office? I think the chairmanship changed. They reconstituted a committee.
Yes.
So there was a committee that was working, set up in September.
I don't know. It
was reconstituted.
I don't know if it was reconstituted.
It was.
But I'm saying that this committee was set up in September 2016.
Yes.
The whole investigative process. And the mandate of the committee was to review the fiscal and legal implications of the power purchase agreements, because the government had realized that there was the need to review these agreements to avoid excessive capacity development, which would lead to increased capacity charge payments. So, if you say there was somebody set up a wishy-washy committee, it's not true. The committee was set up in September 2016. But you see, Felix says that the current power outages is a result of indebtedness. The statement that has been issued by Greatco didn't say so. But Felix is saying...
They say there are gas shortfalls. Why are there gas shortfalls? It is not for them to see. We know.
Please. At least their statement is saying there are shortfalls.
How has the shortfall come about?
They haven't explained.
Yes.
You are telling us that because of indebtedness.
Yes.
We don't know if it's true or not.
Well, it is true.
So, but that's what you are saying. We don't have any facts for that matter. And you're saying that. So,
the only thing is that this year, early this year, the WAPCO, the
WhatsApp pipeline.
Yes, they curtailed the reverse flow to the east. That's Tema.
Yeah.
And that also led to shortages because of monies they were owed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they only decided to restore when they were promised that at least half of
about
$20 million will be paid.
Yeah. So obviously it's a recurrent matter.
Yes.
Because even in the 4-year historic Doomsaw, WAPCO was involved. Now, so Felix says this indebtedness. We may give him the benefit of the doubt or review.
They keep threatening us every day.
Yes, so we know.
In fact, it's a well-known issue.
Outage.
It's a well-known issue.
This particular outage, we don't know if it's indebtedness. So you are setting your own questions and answering them and inviting us to go along. When they try to stop you to cut down the propaganda, you are fighting. Now he says that Doomsaw has worsened. Which Doomsaw has worsened? Felix, which Doomsaw?
What happened yesterday?
Please.
What happened yesterday?
The power outage.
Now, what is Doomsaw?
Now I can tell you, this is a temporary shortage.
Oh, okay. Temporary shortage of what?
Temporary shortage of gas that has occasioned these outages. I can assure you. And ECG will come out with a clear statement on this and the timelines. It is not Doomsaw.
Oh,
so coming to tell us that Doomsaw.
So now when lights go off when they come on, it's not
coming
Doomsaw.
to tell us that Doomsaw has worsened.
What is it?
Lights have been going on enough since Randy and I were little boys. Playing at Atataka.
Oh, I see. What do you call that? When it happens,
never called it Doomsaw.
You don't call it Doomsaw.
It became Doomsaw when you had prolonged it for 4.5 years. And then it actually became part of the international language.
Okay. So what do you call what happened yesterday?
Outage. That needs to be resolved. And you know it.
I'm looking for a tweet by Nana Akufo-Addo. When I find it, I'll show it to you.
So what I'm saying to you, Randy, is that this, I believe, is a temporary problem. The gas, the shortage will be resolved. And this outage will be resolved very quickly. Okay. This is not the first time it's happened. We wish that it doesn't happen, but when it happens, it's resolved quickly.
Right.
To try and equate this to Doomsaw, the historic 4.5-year Doomsaw, will not wash. Now, Felix kept referring to me that yes, I was bashing NDC during the historic Doomsaw period and all of that. Now, Randy, why were we doing that? We were doing that because we were not being told the truth. We were not being told the truth. That was the problem.
You didn't believe what you were being told, or you were not.
Because the facts on the ground did not support what we were being told.
Okay.
You know when it started? In 2013. They said, oh, there's some problem with the West Africa gas pipeline. Some ship had bumped into the pipeline and cut it. And so this is a temporary thing. This was the first excuse they gave in 2013. Every 3 months, they gave us a different excuse. So when 3 months, this cut in the pipeline in Lomé wasn't resolved, then they came and said some ship had run aground in South Africa.
Who said that?
No, if I knew you were coming to bring out, I brought you all the excuses. Because I have they said some ship had run aground in South Africa. The ship was burning some gas, And then...
Okay, I found it. Just read it.
Oh, please read it for me.
No, you can.
But then let me finish. So they said some ship had run aground in South Africa. That ship was bringing us gas, There are another 3 months. And then they will tell us, it's been solved. I remember one time, President Mahama himself said, now we should crown him as the king of lights. When he was inaugurating the Bui Dam, and then he said that, the Dumso has been resolved, and that now we should call him the king of lights, Kania Hine, and that now the greeting should be, because he said that the greeting in Ghana had become Mimamu Dumso Ya Mahama. Now it should change to Mimamu Kania Ya Mahama. In fact, after making that pronouncement to the people of Ghana, the very next day, there was a massive nationwide power cut. So you were not telling us the truth. You were engaged in active propaganda and lies. That is why we sought to bring your actions into account. Because at every stage, you told us something that did not bear reality. And then the situation kept worsening for 4 years. So we're not bashing you because we didn't like you. We're bashing you because of your misdeeds and the suffering that you put the good people of this country into in those 4.5 years, all the excuses. So that's it. If you have a genuine case to bash, as you said, some companies have been set up and they are not straightforward companies, and you said they are chronic companies and all of that, it is time that we cut down the crossfire. And I'm happy that the Ministry of Roads has set this ball rolling. And yesterday too, I was reading a case about Kandapa, where somebody had accused one of the gentlemen, Bakavomo, that's the name, that he had accused that Kandapa had offered him a bribe of 1 million cedis or something and a job. And so Kandapa took the matter to court. This is the Minister for National Security. And yesterday, the reason I'm bringing it is that yesterday I was reading that they can't find the gentleman to serve it. But I'm saying this is how our affairs should be conducted. We should not be leaving it at accusations and charges and just leave it like that.
But the road minister himself is the first accused.
Makwata.
Yes, in this.
Yeah. In what?
In these accusations. He stood at that Temawa Shaman place and accused the people in his ministry
of being corrupt.
Yes, why didn't he take that to Yoko?
Yes.
He should report that to Yoko to investigate.
I agree with you. Yeah. So when he made that call, I mean, of course, he was bad. He was told that, but you are the minister.
Yes.
We should be making the call and you investigate. You are making the call. But all well and good. Now the call had been made by a professor, and that has goaded him, the minister, to go to it. That's how our affairs should be. Now, I'm hoping that this situation is a temporary situation. My area hasn't been affected, but of course, obviously, some areas have been affected. You are going to put people through inconvenience. When you don't have power, it affects your standard of living, lifestyle. Tell them the truth. Tell them the areas that will be covered so they can prepare, and also tell them the duration. As I sit here, I may be cut off this evening. I don't know. If I'm going to be cut off, I can tell them, look, maybe you need to recharge the solar if electricity, the sun is not up, and so on. So you can make.
My worry, and I have stated it earlier. My biggest worry is that with this energy thing, I see us going the same route that we traverse with our debt.
Yeah, but I was speaking about
this
that.
Is not a debt.
We're speaking about that.
Yes, that. Your conclusion. We're looking at the thing from this particular issue and hoping that is a temporary one. And
it will reoccur.
And
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and just hoping that the threats do not materialize. But we know that every single day we are compounding the situation of that debt.
Yeah.
In fact, just by operations of exchange rate alone, something which was 30 billion, maybe a month or two ago, is now 36 billion cedis.
Yeah.
Now, as they continue producing and as they continue supplying,
it goes
as
up.
we continue underpaying, that debt keeps increasing. At which point in time is this going to give? Shouldn't we be having a serious, dispassionate conversation about this energy sector liability? Because you see, now as we speak today, it looks like as a country, we are postponing everything to from 2026, as if 2026 won't come. When you look at what we are doing with DDEP and our debt situation and everything, we are pushing everything to like 2026. We don't have a problem acquiring the debts, compounding them, and pushing it forward, as if the tomorrow will not come. The same way 2022 came to meet us, and we had no choice than to declare DDEP.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm saying, but we've all agreed. Felix had mentioned it, that the problem is the recovery.
No, I'm worried that we don't see the enormity of the issue.
We see it.
We owe over $3 billion.
We see the practical steps that have to be taken is what is lacking. But as for the seeing, we all see it. We can all see that the cost is not being recovered. We can all see it. Look, and Felix mentioned it about where I work, STC. We've gone through a lot of difficulties recently. And I've talked to you about, because you express an interest in STC. And this is just a small company, 700 workers, 750 workers. But our cost in running transport, two main things, fuel and spare parts.
The maintenance.
Yes, the maintenance and the spare parts. So in those days when the macro situation was bad and the city was losing value every day, and the oil companies, now they have a free market. They meet every 2 weeks to review, look at where the dollar is, where the city is, and review their price of petrol and diesel. I am buying it. The spare parts people do the same. Spare parts are imported largely. The duties they pay at Tema are linked to the exchange rate. In fact, as for the port, I understand every day when you go and they haven't seen the daily rate, they tell you wait small for them to know the daily rate of the dollar and put it. So my cost, the petrol and the spare parts, kept rising every day. My revenue, which is the fares, is controlled. You can't understand. The airlines is a bit better. They operate clearly to the market, and the ticket they will charge you at 3 p.m. from Kumasi on Sunday is the fare is different from what they will charge you at 5 p.m. So they are operating close to the market. But if you take STC, we are not operating close to the market. So at one point, my fuel cost was 59% of my revenue. If you don't get the pricing right, I will not be able to maintain the buses because what I'm getting is not enough for me to maintain the buses and buy fuel. Simple. And this is a very small company. So when you apply it to a huge institution like ECG with millions of customers, and the macro situation is not good, the city keeps losing value, and so their costs of operation goes up because they are buying whatever they need to generate electricity. They are buying it in dollars. Same with water. what they use to purify the water, they buy it in dollars. We haven't set up a local industry as a strategic intervention to manufacture those things in this country. We haven't. I mean, is it alum or something that they use to purify water? I don't know why over the years we have it as a national policy, strategic national policy, set up institutions to manufacture.
We love procurement.
Even with the electricity, whatever some of the components, gas, we made a bold effort to get a gas. But the other things, the distribution, the lines, all of them are important. So a brave national effort to set up local production will help. But as it is, those inputs that go into costing, they are determined by the value of the dollar, or the price of the dollar. In a situation where it is not stable, right from the ports, the duty, and all of that, the transports, the petrol, we are not recovering costs. And if we don't have a major conversation about utility pricing, ECG, and water, even water, I'm sure there's some debt. Yeah,
but I think they are a bit more able to meet what they call it than ECG.
But ECG, and historically, like you're saying, what we do is bring some ad hoc measure. In the early 2000s, what we had something, third debt recovery levy. Remember?
Yes.
Which debt?
I think it's still on our books. I think.
Yeah. And then we had recently. What did you people bring?
We brought ESLA.
ESLA. We wait when the thing is now at the brain, then we bring something. So it will be a difficult conversation, but it's something we should have. Some benchmarking system, and like you mentioned, a benchmarking system is better because then the rises
they are marginal over a long period. Yeah.
Over a long period, will be smaller. But we sit down, we wait until we are totally swallowed, and then we get into crisis. So I agree with you totally.
Right. So let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Inside Black Star Press Limited. Grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Step into success with Accra Business School. Boost your career with a prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. Pick from Human Resource Management, Communication and International Relations, Public Affairs. In just 12 months, our MBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business and Management, endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. We offer flexible entry, payment and learning options. It's time to unlock your potential and take flight. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or dial 0263 888 555. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Nana Akomia and Felix Kwachi of Fosu. But are you tired of compromising on the quality of your furniture? Look no further. With Gracefield Ventures, you're guaranteed top-notch products that are not only beautiful, but also built to last. With over a decade of experience, Gracefield Ventures has been the ultimate destination for office and home furniture, creating living and working spaces that exude charm and sophistication. From luxurious sofas that cradle you in comfort to sleek swivel chairs that elevate your productivity. We have it all. Go on, visit the Plush showroom at the heart of Kisem and Accra from Monday to Saturday, or you can reach Gracefield Ventures on 0501 672 776 or 0501 672 777. Gracefield, bringing world-class furniture and exceptional service right to your doorstep. And what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Well, remember, it's got the mullah, it's got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mullah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mullah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under the age of 18. Play responsibly. And you know that the natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you a fresh breath. Okay, this is where Kel Charcoal toothpaste comes in. It has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity, upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal toothpaste is recommended for adults and children from 6 years. Kel Charcoal toothpaste for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. And this is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal toothpaste, happy smile. And Ayasoko, Betway's cash out just go way better. The enhanced daily partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash your bets out early, cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Not for persons under the age of 18. Betway, get way more. And are you looking for a place to have top quality alternative medical treatment? Well, you know, when it comes to health, God is the healer, but He does that through humans. And this is where Amen Alternative Medical Hospital comes in. It's one of the best alternative medicine hospitals in Ghana. So for all your health consultations, counseling, physiotherapy, and homeopathic medicine, Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is the best for you. It is the first to modernize herbal and homeopathy medicine in Ghana. They are the best medical practitioners from KNUST with the state-of-the-art medical equipment curated for your need. The most obscure ailments can be diagnosed and taken care of. You can find Amen Alternative Medical Hospital at Klagon on the Lashibia Sherman Road near the Underbridge from Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. or call them on 0207-229-505 or 0244-227-192 to book your appointments. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital, God is the healer. And MTN keeps giving you rewards, and they're asking you to earn points by purchasing, renewing, copying, or gifting your favorite caller tunes. And you can win amazing prizes based on your total accumulated points. So build as many points as possible, and you can win tons of data to stay connected to the things you love, or you can win an amazing 10,000 Ghana cedis cash prize to splash on your favorite things. It's a perfect way to entertain your callers with music and get rewarded at the same time. Start collecting your caller tunes points today. Visit callertunes.mtn.com.gh and you spell caller tunes with a Z at the end, not an S, a Z. Or just dial *1355# to get started on the MTN caller tune service. This promo lasts till the 7th of November, 2023. Terms and conditions do apply. Let me say a big happy birthday to a friend of mine. He's an entrepreneur and is also the Chief Executive Officer of Sun City 97.1 FM and Sunyani. Runs for the entry. Happy 51st birthday to you, my brother. Runs for the entry and is the man who's also at the forefront of the People's Project, Sunyani Coronation Park. So happy birthday to you, Ransford. Mr. Collins Napoleon Kwanzaa, God is love. Choba Takrady, you are the CEO. Today is your birthday. So happy birthday to you, Mr. Collins Napoleon Kwanzaa of Takrady. This is from Gilbert Kweku Apa. Felix.
Randy,
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Now, I was saying that you are getting a lot of live presenter mentions these days. So things are becoming normal.
They're getting better.
Slightly, they're getting better. But we haven't turned the corner.
Not yet.
But Randy, I think that I think there's convergence here that we need to draw a line under the politics and get the job done. Ultimately, the people of Ghana want electricity supplied to them consistently, reliably, and efficiently. That has to be done. It is not rocket science. It is not something beyond us. But you see, what has afflicted us is cheap populism. And you see, the actions we take in the past have a way of cascading and catching up with us in the future. Andy, we were all in this country in 2016. And I would have thought that because we had just come out of Doomsor and all the difficulties we faced, all the frustration our people faced, the political opposition at the time will be more minded to be cautious in what they say so that they improve upon whatever it is that they inherited. Right after Doomsor was resolved, and we did the cash waterfall mechanism, put in place ESLA, which was not an easy thing to do based on the political climate and all that. But we did it so that there is some liquidity. The political opposition, led by Nana Akufo-Addo and Maumia, kept sniping at government, berating us and creating the impression that we had deliberately foisted hardship on the people because of electricity price adjustments. At a time when they knew that ECG needed more revenue, they promised to reduce electricity prices. And when they came into power, led by Boakye Jakun, they announced some cosmetic reductions, which had the effect of creating an even bigger hole that they came to meet. So the issues of under recovery were well known as of 2016. And I would have thought that a responsible opposition at the time, would move away from the old way of doing, but they needed to win power, so anything had to be said. Right? You pulled a tweet from President Akufo-Addo. There are so many of those, and especially Bawumia, which show that they were engaged in cheap populism. That is why we are here. I believe that the NDC will do better. We will draw a line under the populism and politics and do what is right by the people. Because you see, right, when we did ESLA, you notice that despite the criticism from the opposition, there was, by and large, public acceptance because the public understood that it was for a worthy cause. And so one day they woke up, fuel prices had gone up by about 10%, but they understood that it was in the best interest of the country to ensure that we had a sustainable source of revenue to address problems that had existed over the period. That is the kind of politicking that we need to be doing, not the one that hankers after popularity. And Akomia said that all the so-called social interventions, they put together and put a figure on it. As what it cost. I think the last time I checked, they said it cost 12 billion Ghana cedis or so per annum. Right? You see, it boils down to efficient use of resources. So in a year, we have a budget. Let's say in a year, we budget to spend about 130 billion. So if you take out compensation, which takes a chunk of it, other statutory commitments, something for capital investment, that is infrastructure, roads, schools, hospitals, what have you. Randy, if you have 12 billion Ghana cedis left, given all the problems we have, the competing interest, what is the best way to utilize it? Now, do you advertise, like Bawumia is advertising, that you will buy 1.3 million tablets for senior high school students? Or rather, you will print textbooks for basic school pupils who have been without it for 4 years? Or you will provide furniture, desks, which is a basic requirement that students cannot do without? Or you will spend 400 to 500 million Ghana cedis a year paying students to go to school by way of nursing training and teacher training allowances at a time when you are struggling to employ them when they finish school because you don't have money to pay them. So populism has clouded common sense and reasonable thinking in policy making in this, especially in the last 7 years. That is what has bankrupted our country. The desire to win the next election over building the country. Because you see, when under-recoveries occur, right, what eventually happens is that government must underwrite it. Government must make up for the shortfall. But right, we don't have 6 billion Ghana cedis every year to give to ECG to make up for the shortfall. So first of all, you don't create it. Or if it is there, you minimize it. And then you don't take steps that worsen it. Now, when I mentioned the spate of corruption in any sector, and Akomia says the political opposition should take steps to get these addressed. Really, President Akufo-Addo made a categorical promise to the people of this country that he will fight corruption. In fact, as for him, he added that he will fight corruption through the ANAS principle. Today, ANAS is public enemy number 1 to the MPP. And through Kennedy Japan, we have been told that when ANAS did his expose in the Kwesi Nyantakyi matter, he was commissioned together with others to assail ANAS's integrity with a view to bringing him down. So those who have tried to unearth corruption for you to address, you have targeted them for attack and abuse. Right? Beyond raising the issues as opposition, what can we do? So yeah, we've seen the Stratcon oil deal. We've seen the Gensa deal. We've seen all the things that the president's cousins and brothers are involved in. We've talked about PDS. What can the opposition do beyond highlighting this? Can we go and arrest?
They say use parliament.
Yeah, but right, parliament does its bit. Randy, it is the duty of the president to hold those doing that to account if he does not approve or if he himself is not the one orchestrating the corruption and theft. He has ultimate power through the Attorney General or any number of institutions that he sets up. He can hold people to account, right? They've taken people to court over any number of matters today, have they not? Mostly people in the opposition. But what about those around him who are engaged in this sort of corruption? What can I do about Statoil? What can I do about the Randy? I noticed that they've taken 300 million Ghana cedis, and they could only have come by that sweetheart deal because of their proximity to those in power. I have seen it. What can I do about it? Beyond highlighting it on this your program. What about ensuring that there's an open, transparent bidding process for the supply of fuel to the energy sector producers so that the cost will be beaten down? Randy, when we were in power, we noticed that fuel was becoming an issue. We moved to set up a gas plant. Now we know for a fact that at least we saved $300 million per annum to this country through the existence of Ghana Gas alone. You come to power, and your priority is to ensure that your long-standing friend, profits from a 1.5 billion dollar loss to the state. So we produce gas, and the PURC, which sets the price, says that we should sell it at $6 per BMMTU, which is a unit for measuring gas. You decide that you will sell it to your friend at 2.6, so that the state incurs a loss of $3.3 per BMMTU. How do you do that? When you do that, and you said the opposition should highlight it for what? The people at Ghana Gas, who know that this is going to hurt them, have raised the issue. They brought it to the president's attention. And by the stroke of a pen, the president can stop this if he wants to. He has not stopped it. And now he has called on the opposition to do something about it. Now, what we should go and hold the president's friend and throw him into prison. Is that what we have been told? Already. This, I'm not finished. Final
finish
point.
on it so that I get to Nana and then
Final point.
I just do something.
So, you see, people are not elected into office to lament. Understand? You cannot come to office and lament the same problems that we are all lamenting. If it was about lamentation, Randy, we will hold a daily funeral and lament. We will wear sackcloth and sit in ash. Randy, you have power to act. By what Anakomia is saying, he has told us that one, President Akufo-Addo and his boss Bawumia have failed in the fight against corruption. That they simply don't have the power. So now they need the opposition to do the fight. And Randy, when you fail, you are thrown out of power. Okay. But he is leading the man to come and tell us that Randy, he wants to run. Now, as for me, I'm waiting for him. He should come and tell us why he has failed so miserably, but he should be voted for.
Felix, I can assure you that next year the campaign will be interesting. So
of course it will be interesting.
Don't worry.
It will be interesting.
Now, Randy.
Me too, I can assure you that it will be very interesting.
Yeah, don't worry. Look, Randy, and what is Felix saying? The propaganda is too much. That's Felix's main problem.
Your problem is that you even want to deny that there's doom. So you don't even want to say
when you were speaking, I kept quiet.
You were promising a showdown.
Your handwriting is better than mine. Right? Listen, Randy.
Yes.
I just got this from Ben. Yes. I think he's the boss of Ghana Gas.
Okay.
He's
Ben Asante, Dr. Ben Asante.
Yeah, I'll just say it as Ben Ghana Gas. So he says, I'll just quote him. The story on the looming doomsday and gas supply shortage by Gridco is a bit misleading. The issue is not gas supply, but gas delivery. We have adequate gas supply from the west. But the WAPCO pipeline, I think you mentioned.
Yes.
The WAPCO pipeline, which delivers about 100 million standard cubic feet per day of gas, equivalent to 550 megawatts, from Takrady to Tema, has been taken out of service.
Yes.
Nothing to do with Ghana Gas. GNPC.
But nobody has said it is about Ghana Gas.
No. I'm saying, he's saying that the problem is that there's
so he just confirmed.
Nobody has mentioned Ghana Gas. Yeah. You owe them, pay them.
No, he hasn't said we owe anything.
Yes. It is not for him to say.
Can I finish?
It's not for him to say. It is not his beef, actually.
Nothing to do with Ghana Gas. GNPC is the counterpart to the transportation agreement to WAPCO. I'm sure the issue will be resolved soon. Because it's from...
Maybe, I don't know.
Nobody has mentioned Ghana Gas.
It's a general text because nobody has called out Ghana Gas.
As nobody has mentioned Ghana Gas.
No, he sent it to me.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that nobody has called out Ghana Gas.
You owe WAPCO, pay.
Now, he sent it to me because obviously he's watching and he's interested in the discussion. Now, you see, Felix's problem is that even though all of us will identify the problem, he's not objective about
which objectivity? If I criticize your mishandling,
is it possible? If you let me go. The other problem is that you listen to your own voice.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because otherwise when people are speaking, but when you are speaking, I kept quiet. Please, don't say. Now, the problem with Felix is that the propaganda is too much. We've all identified the problem. He says that no, the problem is NPP.
Yes.
They play politics of to the gallery.
Yes.
But we all know, and he said it's cheap populism.
Yes.
The NPP's problem. We all know that in the days when NPP was in office, even in Kufuor's time, and some price adjustments were made, you people had big press conferences with blackboard.
We are doomsday during president, right?
Outages. and then
that's what led to the toy something toy.
And then Randy, then you had
no, right? You see,
you had them.
He's accusing me of propaganda. Yet he doesn't even want to accept that there was doom so under President Gufo. You don't want to accept.
No, it says that one is called outage.
You can
that
beat,
one is called
you can beat yourself.
Okay. That one is outage.
The historic doomsday that we had in this country happened between 2013 and 2017.
Between 2007
so I'm saying that
there was
Randy, all of us were in this country. When your boss, he said that they recruited you so you can go and do some job, but I don't want to go into that.
Which one?
Ahoy. And they were doing public press conferences with blackboard and gallons of
course,
petroleum pricing.
Petroleum pricing,
of course.
So if you are going to talk about accusations and counter accusations, depending on who's in office, and then you take yourself out and you say it's one party, that is where your whole
Randy, I said that it's a historical problem.
That's where your whole
narration your actions have worsened it. That's what I said.
Now, you've taken yourself.
I have not.
Ask for
by
somebody
saying
they are in.
It's a historical problem.
I
have included myself.
Write it down.
That's what I mean by historical problem. But your populism has worsened it.
Is it possible you can just write it down?
If
you let me speak, I'll just stop it.
Oh, but we are almost done.
You
don't need protection. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're not protected.
Right.
Look at it.
You need protection.
Okay.
Right.
So
yeah,
absolutely. Look at it. Okay. So I'm saying that I am a little tired of the propaganda. It's a problem that we face in this country. We play the populism game. And then when we come, we face the same issue. And then the opposition too takes it up. He's saying that the opposition cannot do anything.
I didn't say that.
I'm sure if you speak to people in government, in fact, just about 2 weeks ago, the president was talking about his efforts in fighting corruption. And he laid out his efforts. You are here. He said that the people say I'm a clearing agent.
No, I wasn't here.
Okay, you've gone to.
He said maybe it's good I wasn't here.
He said that. Listen, he said that the people say I'm a clearing agent. This is his reaction to the clearing agent. He said, "Look, there are people who've come up cited for all kinds of issues. This is what we did," and he actually gave about 10 to 15 names, right up to the last one, Cecilia Dapa. So he says that he's doing his best. He talked about the laws he's made. He talked about when you believe that his efforts are not enough. And you say you can't do anything about it, all you can do is talk about it. I'm saying no, you can do more.
Like what?
Look, there are many anti-corruption agencies in this country as we speak, including SHRAC, including the YOCO, including the Special Prosecutor, including the CID. So, if you believe strongly that what the Akufo-Addo government, led by the president himself, what they are doing against corruption is not enough, and that they are acts of commission, you mean you can't take the simple step of petitioning SHRAC that these companies that were formed, they've occasioned, he said some company, Gentros or something, there's a loss of something, loss of public money to favor. If you have all this belief and information, why haven't you just petitioned SHRAC? Why haven't you just petitioned Yoko?
Did not petition SHRAC on the Kembon matter?
Why haven't you used the platform of Parliament where the numbers are equal? And you cannot be, for the first time in the history of the Fourth Republic, a ruling government doesn't have an overwhelming majority. You have the numbers being equal, and you have the speaker, who is the one who admits petitions on your side. You have a historic opportunity.
Randy, cash for seats.
So when you say, please, when you say
your majority,
we are helpless,
your majority
and
shielded,
we can't do,
your majority shielded government from scrutiny the cash for seats scandal. It was taken to Parliament.
The person who can shield anything in Parliament.
No. What can the speaker do about
the speaker? No,
at that time,
they can't do anything.
Speaker, so. What is referring to?
This is 2018, 2019.
All right. But now you have the speaker. So if you believe Gentrust, is it Gentrust he mentioned? Gensa is doing something untoward and leading to the loss of public money. The government says, maybe the government is being aware.
In this case, you can't even blame the private company.
Randy, but the Gensa matter is before Parliament.
Yes.
Is it before
Who chairs the Committee on Energy?
Honorable Atachi.
What has been his pronouncement on the matter? Did ASEP not have to take him on?
Yeah.
When he came out with the report that that tended to favor Jensen, the very entity that we are talking about.
So, I mean, this impression that you are giving us that as a political opposition,
the truth is that
you are helpless.
Yes, in this current dispensation,
you are helpless.
Beyond making noise at the matter, we are helpless.
Really?
Beyond the yes. Right. Let me give you a typical example. Look.
Really?
Let me give you a typical example.
Have you finished?
When Dumelovo was wrongly dismissed, civil society organizations went to court of all, the Supreme Court of all places. Randy, by the time they adjudicated the matter, the man was out already. Another example is when we thought that the passage of the 2022 budget was not lawful. And the matter is still pending.
Okay.
Even though the act that we sought to prevent has long happened.
Listen, when we were in opposition, we took matters to court. Isaac Amu, your brother, in 2016.
It is not the
same.
The
electoral...
It is
we're
not the
talking
same.
about the principle.
It is not the same.
But
it is not the same.
See, you can't even listen.
It is not the same. Unfortunately, time is gone.
Listen, when we took it to court, even the Electoral Commission of Ghana said yes, what the people are saying is correct. It took 4 years, but at least we took it to court.
But Amo
sat in Parliament. Sorry?
Amo sat in Parliament.
In the next one, not in
Yes, he sat in Parliament.
So, at least the record will show that the political opposition did something.
Yeah, but we have done something. I've told you instances where you have put roadblocks in our party.
You said Domelevo. It wasn't resolved for the time, but it has been resolved. And the records will show that something was done. So another president next time will not do that. But to come and tell us that you are helpless, and all you can do is talk about it.
I'm surprised that you are even allowed
to go. It's a relegation of your... and then you say that when you come into office, then you do...
The primary responsibility lies with you. Your boss Bawumia and his boss Akufo-Addo to deal with the matter.
You are saying that the people have not lived up to their responsibility. That's what you are saying.
Yes, but you
so if you are saying so,
you are not acting. What can we do?
No. You have said they haven't lived up to their responsibility. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
If you believe so, take action.
What action?
And you say, I cannot take any action. I can only talk.
You tell me what other action.
That's a relegation, irresponsible opposition. And then you are saying that when we vote for you can be
of course, when you vote for
you can't do anything.
Look,
these people, let me conclude. These people, when they are in a position, didn't they say they would jail all of us?
We have never said so.
Including you.
Including me.
We have never said so.
When they came into office.
What did you do that we would jail you? What did you do that we tried to jail you?
They said they would jail all of us.
You didn't. We never said so. The only person who said that is actually JH Mensah.
Now listen. Listen.
In fact, the only person who has said that is JH Mensah. JH Mensah. He's the one who says our party will be finished.
Let me refresh your memory. Randy.
Who said they will jail all of us?
Between 2007 and 2008, they said we had stolen all the gold in the country. They brought bank accounts that show that some people in government had more money than the GDP of Ghana. And they were going to jail all of us. When they came into power.
Maybe they were prophesying.
When they came into
maybe
power.
Maybe in 2007, they were seeing. They were seeing
these people,
2023.
Are these people who can see beyond
no problem.
When they came into office. When they came into office.
Randy, now.
And they got to parliament.
We've got to a juncture.
Then we asked them.
We've got to a juncture where
I'm concluding.
It's asking the opposition.
I'm concluding to you. Let me conclude.
Now we've got to a stage where after promising to fight corruption, now Kumia
they went to the appointment.
So the opposition should be jailing people now.
And then they asked them, but you said we had the stolen all the gold and we bank accounts and this and that.
Nana Akufo-Addo said we printed diaries.
You are here.
Nana Akufo-Addo said we printed diaries to the tune of $10 million. He said that. Rich.
He said a journalist told him. When he was asked, he said it was a journalist told him.
Move away from the propaganda and live up to your responsibility.
Really? Of what?
Nana, let's round up on this one. Nana,
you said we haven't fulfilled it.
But you have fulfilled it. You have to put it out.
Yeah.
Spillage and the ravaging effect. We've seen public-spirited individuals and companies respond to it.
Yeah.
In fact, just this morning, I have seen pictures of a gentleman, Gideon Hammond. He's gone around the Jubilee House with placards
to protest,
asking for the president to declare a state of emergency. Before I left town, I saw a statement, the president putting together a number of ministers.
Ministerial committee.
Yes. That's the gentleman there, standing there.
Is it today?
Today, this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's Gideon Hammond. Asking for, yes. And
a state of emergency.
Yes, plenty, quite a number of huge portfolios.
Ministers on that team.
And all that. Dude, is there a paralysis
And it's all talk. It's
in
all
leadership.
Talk. It's all talk.
Because you see, what I see as what you can see as a response is rather people being accused of not listening, not evacuating. They were warned, they were not evacuated. And then their response is that don't insult us in our pain. If you ask us to evacuate, where would you ask us to go to? You've seen the statements issued and all that. Is there paralysis in leadership?
No, I believe there's some deficiency rather in communication. Yeah, I believe it's the communication. Because obviously some work is going on the ground, but it's not being communicated. And what makes me a bit worried is that when we face the COVID crisis, the communication was world class. There's an interministerial committee. They should be given daily briefings about what is happening on the ground. Beyond this national state of emergency, I don't know what the benefits of declaring state of emergency will be or whatever, but it has to be addressed. If there's a briefing and the matter comes up, the merits and demerits will be canvassed. If there are no merit in it, we will know why it is not necessary to declare a state of emergency. The COVID communication, which was led by the president himself, was what brought all of us to a point. You know, the NDC has somebody even formed a rival committee, but because the communication was there wasn't a gap. If it's not too late, the interministerial committee should go on that tangent. What worries me is that these days,
maybe with COVID, there was a lot of money.
Chop.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm saying maybe with COVID, there was a lot of money coming in.
But the communication to what? What are you going to spend money to do? Communication, just having the crescent. But listen, yesterday I read about City One radio station. I'm not too sure. Building. I don't know if it's what the report said is houses, but they are building shelters.
Is it a Fair Sky one?
No, this is a radio station. I've heard of a Fair Sky doing something. Every media house, I don't know if you have started, but literally every media house is organizing relief efforts. And where's the coordination?
That's why I asked if there's a paralysis.
But that's what I'm saying. That is the communication gap, and I would urge
because
them to start
two days ago,
because
Mr.
obviously
Ibrahim Mahama went there providing relief for 20,000 households.
Yeah, and we know about it.
Yeah, First Car has gone ahead. They've done this. They are building 500
and we haven't heard anything from the
people.
Randy, no, you see, Randy, people overestimate. People overrate communication. The problem is not the communication one. If indeed a lot is happening as you are saying, there will be no grumblings on the ground. People will feel the relief. You see, but what is compounding the problem? It's a sense of dereliction of responsibility on the part of those who matter. Only yesterday or so, I heard the Chief Justice attempting to defend government in this matter and blaming the people for not heeding advice. Yes! You know, there was a lecture by the Ghana Institute of Engineers. I think Yawin Sako delivered the lecture there, and I think she was one of the people who was invited. After the lecture, she spoke and said she disagreed with what Yawin Sako was saying, that the people must be held liable for not responding to official prompts to leave.
The Chief Justice?
Yes! I was utterly shocked.
Are you sure?
Why would I tell a lie about this?
Annie, give me that tape.
You see, so why do you, first of all, the Chief Justice is the head of the third arm of government. I mean, the idea that she would even seek to defend government in this is more surprising. Look, Randy.
Maybe the brief she got.
Randy, but what brief?
Yeah, obviously.
Randy, I don't accept. You see, Randy, I do not accept
the principle of blaming victims.
Exactly.
It's
Randy, is it in a crisis? Randy, look, we are all in this country. If there was any proper engagement with the community, we will know for such a major disaster.
If I
so as for you, nothing is being done.
No, but I had.
In fact, where will you see the state? Where will you see the state? These agencies say that we are asking you to move,
and you will move,
and not say that
move by this date or we are moving.
Move by this date or we are moving here. This is what we are. This is what we are providing.
Randy, what ought to happen is that you see because of them.
So you believe there's a communication gap?
No, it's not a communication gap. As in telling us what you are doing.
Leadership.
Randy, you see,
So nothing is being done.
You see, I'm not saying nothing. The
so something is being
things,
done.
you see, what we must see.
It's not a communication problem.
I'm sure that you are if you were perhaps, and I'm not patronizing you, but I'm sure that if perhaps you were in a position of leadership, you do things differently.
It is not
on the spillage matter.
Yes, it is not a communication. You see, I don't want to wake up and hear that yesterday we sent 2 bags of rice. No. If you have sent the rice, it will reflect in the lives of people. When the pictures come, we will see a vast improvement. When Ibrahim Mama sent his food, today the people are eating the food, so we know.
So you mean nothing has been sent?
I'm not saying
I mean, from an engineering point of view,
says
spilling a certain quantity of water.
It's going to have a certain consequence.
You ought to know
it will have a certain
the consequences.
Exactly.
Yes. So if we allow this situation, and then we get up to blame.
Randy, I hear that. You see, initially.
The blaming of the people
Randy, initially they were spilling,
difficult because
they were spilling 20 million cubic feet of water. Then suddenly they ramped it up to 180 million. They do this spillage over time. They've done it over and over and over.
Yeah, the dam
but it is
well
managed.
The dam must be saved. There's no doubt about that.
Even allowing the dam to fill to that level itself was an act
but
of
you know the rains were not expected.
No.
The rains were not expected.
Look, if VRE,
no, they were not expected.
If VRE does not have a proper meteo unit or have officers who liaise with others, both local and international, to learn about weather patterns and potential rainfall, then they are not serious. And
you know the last time.
Anywhere in the world.
No, 1 second. You know the last time this happened on this scale was in 1968.
True.
So it's a learning curve.
But
I'm saying that.
And now you can imagine how less built up. These places were in 68, and yet we had.
Yeah. Randy,
even allowing people to build around in the manner that they've done, it's an indictment on all of us.
Even the wager one, where there are just some 50 people, we can. But you see, if the communication is ramped up, like you said, somebody is wondering why we're having declared state of emergency, and he's taking his time to go to Jubilee House. So instead of having the conversation on the relief efforts, we are discussing this. If the communication is regular and consistent, an issue like this would have been resolved.
But is it that there is something seriously happening that we don't know about? That is not being communicated.
Obviously, there's something happening. Obviously, there's something happening.
They've spent about 9 million. Randy, if
the communication is not coming out,
Randy, they said they've spent 9
million. I'm sure you are talking about Ibrahim Mahama, and you are talking about other people, which is true. But you are saying that it doesn't seem like the public agencies are doing much.
Yes, yesterday, it is obvious.
And I'm saying that
yesterday Annie went there. She was there on the canoe and the boat, went to the camp that's been built and all that. I mean, for institutions that say that we ask them to go somewhere, apparently those camps were created by the people themselves, their leaders, the MEPE Association and others. And according to them, it was just Friday.
The camps are what? Temporary shelters?
Yes. So it was just last Friday, exactly a week today, that the VRA provided some 6 or 8 mobile toilets for just one of the 8 camps that they have created. So from when they started warning them up to today, the issue of where they will go to, the provision of shelter that must be made, the provision of toilet facilities and others, that was lost on whoever was asking them to move.
Move to where?
And 2 weeks after this issue,
and VRA says they asked them to move.
Yes.
To where?
But even the asking.
To where? That's the question they're also asking.
Even the MEPE Development Association disputes the claim that they were asked to move.
Yes.
They've asked for evidence of this so-called engagement.
So that's Annie. I think that was yesterday.
They've asked for the evidence of this.
Is Annie still there, or she's here?
No, she's back.
So they've asked for evidence of this so-called engagement for them to move.
But if there's evidence, where should they move?
Yes.
Exactly.
Where?
Yes.
You have to provide them where they should go.
And the last thing we require are for officialdom to come and blame them that they didn't heed advice. In fact, Randy, assuming that they didn't even heed advice, in which serious country would the movement not be enforced? Given that when the spillage occurs, it will cost lives and property. They will move you by force. Even if you have to declare a state of emergency so that you have powers to do that, you will do it.
But is that
when
not what
came, were we not forced to stay in our country, in our homes?
Yes.
Were we not told to stay in our homes?
Yes.
Did the president not take on additional powers so that he can prescribe
in fact, people went to
punishment?
prison. People went to prison.
Exactly. For violating.
People were sent to prison.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So what you mean is that the public institutions should scale up.
They should simply do
There's
what
a paralysis in leadership.
They are not doing it.
You believe it.
They are not doing it.
But you do
Nana,
believe
you
it.
agree with
Do you believe it?
Oh, I am saying
Oh,
it.
Jai, what's up?
They are not doing it. They are not doing it.
Let's go to a funeral.
Anyway,
But you are not even dressed in. You are not going to the funeral.
I'll go.
Are you sure?
I'll go.
You will go.
But the funeral is tomorrow.
It's
not tomorrow.
Today.
Tomorrow is
Today.
I should have come.
Tomorrow is the 92nd. Tomorrow is the 92nd speech day.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you should be going because for a long time you were.
What you
But
say?
you should be going. I've not invited you.
Nana, what you say?
Me.
Accra, for a long time they fell under your jurisdiction.
Nana, you've not
when they started flopping in the science set, so I lost interest.
Wow.
You abandoned them.
So last time, I think he's even on the board.
He's on the board. He's
Last time we accosted, you know what he said? That
not
was
science
focus his business.
We are not a science school.
Yeah, business school. So you should enter the business Olympics.
The speech day is tomorrow. And guess what? I'm the guest speaker.
Okay, what's the topic?
Okay. Developing and maintaining sustainable school infrastructure for impactful education, a shared responsibility.
That's why you're a doctor.
That's nice.
So tomorrow, let's be that.
It's polished PhD English.
All right, up next, 10 years.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush.
Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcates. Happy smile.
Hello Ghana, KNUST ISWAM, Republic Welfare Limited, a subsidiary of Republic Bank Ghana, presents Women in Business Conference. Are you a young woman entrepreneur with a small business or medium-scale business? You can't miss this amazing program coming up at Cafe Banoa Jowulua Crown on the 30th of November 2023, 9 a.m. sharp. Learn about loan financing, access to loans. All these benefits await you. Don't miss this amazing opportunities. Investment is a cool 1,000 Ghana cedis. Harvest all course materials, coffee break, lunch, networking. See you there.
ECG is now cashless. My studio lights are always on. I never run out of power. With the ECG Power app, I'm able to report an issue, check my credit, buy power, all in real time whenever I need to. I don't worry if ECG vendors are closed. In the comfort of wherever I may be, I still keep my lights on thanks to the ECG Power app. You can simply use mobile money wallets, Visa or MasterCard. It does not attract e-levy. With the ECG Power app, you are totally covered. To download, go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. You don't have a smartphone? Don't worry. No internet? Don't worry. No data? Do not worry. Just dial *226#. This is what I call convenience in your hands. ECG Power app. A yes simple pa.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and cover the makers in
The pneumatological aberration of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. I'm up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasa Mainzongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Buachi Hospital Junction. Takradi. Efiekuma. Number 9 Market.
Go and tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply.
The same got to move on.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with a new guy has something on his head. I don't know what it is. Desi Impese. What's that? What's it called?
Good morning.
Your new hairstyle, what's it called?
Just twist.
Twist?
Yeah, no twist.
What has influenced that? Is this what Kumasi wants?
No, this is just
Is what?
It's just twist.
Hey.
This is not the reason why what you call I beg. What you thinking? But I was speaking to Wani before I got on set. I was asking her about yesterday, the experience. When she went.
Did you see her sitting on the canoe without a life jacket?
Yes.
Okay.
So she's just swimming there. She don't go fish swim, but it's the content of the water that she's afraid of. Yeah. But anyway, since Akraka is not a science school, me to my school, we are not a science school. So when I say okay, we don't care.
We were in the semi-final. We lost narrowly.
Narrowly. Oh.
But we are not protesting.
You're not right. Anyway, so Doc, I don't know. There's been cases of fake doctors.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that this week in Confanoche.
Fake medical doctors.
Yes, fake medical doctors. I don't know why there's people just feel like they just want to go to.
There's always been people like that.
Like, I'm just thinking, what will influence you to think that you're a doctor and so you go in?
No, but people fake everything. There are people who are fake journalists. There are people, people impersonate people. People impersonate people. People engage in fraudulent conduct.
Yeah, true. Yes.
For many reasons.
True.
There are some that are issues of mental health. There are some that are completely for fraudulent purposes. They want to extort money from people or scam people and all that. There are those who I've seen some that are as a result of mental health.
Yeah, somebody's health at stake like that. Let's just watch what happened at Confanoche when some fake doctors were arrested. That's a very serious thing, and so that's a trend on social media, and we've got just to be careful about that. So moving on quickly, so President Akufo-Addo, I saw a video where yesterday the Association International School visited him at the Jubilee House, and one of the kids asked why he chose Dr. Bami as his running mate. That's a very interesting. I was trying to get the video, but I'll get to the next week. I'll bring it to you. But still on the president, there's a funny skit about the president. This is just for laughing purposes.
Friday. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. So let's check out that funny video about the president.
You can't tell me Nanado administration have done nothing for the people of Ghana. He has done extremely well. If you don't remember anything, what about one district, one? One lie. You can't tell me Nanado administration have done nothing for the people of Ghana. He has done extremely well. If you don't remember anything, what about one district, one? One lie.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. But why the guy have to slap him with powder? Does he have a certain effect?
Yeah. Oh, what a powder! That's Friday deep break. Why district? Dam DAM 3 letter word lie I do
3-3.
Anyway. This weekend, tomorrow, we are coming to the University of Ghana. It is the Metro Pink Clinic, free breast screening exercise, free HIV testing, all of that. So please come in with your wives, your daughters, your girlfriends, your mothers, aunties. Let them come and check for free. Tomorrow starts in the morning at 8 a.m. till later in the day at the Dr. Hilali Man Hall at the University of Ghana. So please come and be part of this. The Pink Clinic by Metro TV and sponsored by Ezekiel Cancer Foundation. And say, feel the boobs. Yes, come, let's feel it and help you. No, not me feel. Come, let the doctors feel it and help you with the test. So that's it for the trends today. My name is Desifade in the Star Boy.
Okay. So I'm inviting you to the speech and prize giving, the 92nd at Accra Academy tomorrow.
Look, as you talk to me, I stand by you. They give the speech, I dare by you. but the topic will be easy, so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Developing and maintaining sustainable school infrastructure for impactful education, a shared responsibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why some people are doctors, so they can go ahead with it. All right, so that's it. Catch you next week. Have a great weekend.
I thought you were going to leave us with your skit. Or is enough? One more. I love this.
You can't tell me Nanado administration have done nothing for the people of Ghana. He has done extremely well. If you don't remember anything, what about one district, one? One lie. You can't tell me Nanado administration have done nothing for the people of Ghana. He has done extremely well. If you don't remember anything, what about one district, one?
Up next, Metro Sports.
Good Morning Ghana is brought to you by
MTN.
The critical foundation of every sustainable development endeavor is effective leadership. This requires deliberate platforms for consistent and continuous grooming and learning. The Leadership 360 Lura Summit 2023 is that platform for leaders and upcoming leaders to learn and relearn to accelerate personal leadership skills, development and enhancement. Date and venue is Friday,